Host John Kincade and Andrew Salciunas. 97.5 The Fanatic, Philadelphia.
You know, last week it was depressing telling you it was a football Friday, even though the Eagles weren't in it. It's depressing for a second straight week to call it a football Monday. Last week, Football Monday was reacting to the Eagles losing to the San Francisco 49ers. This Football Monday is depressing watching the rest of the NFL or the teams that remained playing in the playoffs this weekend. If you watched, I know a lot of people shied away and stayed away. I had nothing else to do. Johnny, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning to you, too. And I'm proud of myself that, well, I think the weather had a lot to do with it, but I wasn't a little bitch boy.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't much to do with the snow yet.
Yeah, I watched a lot of football this week.
Yeah, it was.
And so it was, you know, but it's still, it felt like a bummer. But I know that from my notes, you know it. I'm going to surprise you with one of my takes, though. But I have a lot of different things that I felt watching the games this weekend. It was interesting.
So let's start with the Eagles, and don't worry. In about 9 minutes, all hell will break loose when we discuss what took place Friday. I broke the news to John Kincade by texting him, "I hate Bo Bichette."
Yeah, I was at La Colina. Fine restaurant right around the corner here. Great lunch. We were having lunch with our friend Ted Jenkin. And
that's why I broke the news.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Bo Bichette.
And the minute I saw that, I went, oh, crap. Connor and I, who were being – Connor, we'll just talk about it.
You guys were being mocked.
Everybody was mocking us and spiking the football on us prematurely. We were right. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, one of these days, people are going to listen to us, Sean.
We got plenty of time.
We'll get there.
We were right.
You know.
All along.
Yeah, and every reporter in the world, too. How about that?
No, we were right.
Unbelievable. All right, so let's start with the Eagles. Our first question for you to start today at 610-632-0975 is how quick the Eagles can get back. All right? This football team, their defense is not going away yet, right? The defense is so good. The offense, we'll see if there's some different faces next year. Who knows what the situation is with A.J. Brown. It's obviously not been pretty. There was a report over the weekend that A.J. Brown had been requesting trades numerous times going back to week 3 against the Los Angeles Rams. I saw that report from Bleeding Green Nation. So, you know, with all the drama that we dealt with all season long.
Yeah, it's a shocker that A.J. Brown was the blank stirrer all year long.
And there were a lot of people that would say, stop talking about it. It's nonsense. It's media driven, blah, blah, blah. Well, if A.J. Brown was indeed numerous times demanding a trade, asking for trades behind the scenes, now what? Right? Like, it's okay to point the finger to a person that caused drama all season long. And now that you have more information, to get a little fed up by it.
A Super Bowl champion, defending Super Bowl champions.
Captain.
And 2 weeks in, a captain is one of the major reasons you're having discord amongst the team.
And then, of course, there's the vacant offensive coordinator position. There was a lot of interviews being scheduled and being done over the weekend. We'll update you on everybody. But the reason why you need an offensive coordinator is because they decided to promote from within a guy that had no experience whatsoever, a guy that was definitely not deserving for the job, unless you are willing to just give people jobs because they've been around forever.
Or
right?
your best buddy.
Or your best friend. Nepotism.
Yeah, you want to make sure
play
your buddy. There was nobody named Sirianni other than Bill Colarulo through a cousin that could have gotten promoted into the job, so they went with.
And Bill was a little less qualified. He had a great college career at Gettysburg, but a little less qualified.
I would have signed up for the just mental aptitude. I'm signing up for Colarulo every day of the week.
You're not stupid.
And I would have signed up for, if you gave me a combo, and you could have afforded them. If you gave me a Colarulo DeCecco, I would have taken that combination over any time over Patullo.
Sure.
And there's enough vowels in Colarulo DeCecco to cover the Patullo thing.
Sure. Yeah, he'd be fine.
I would have absolutely gone for that.
So I watched football. You watched football. Connor, did you check out or did you hide away?
Oh, no, I checked out.
You checked.
I don't do the cold.
All right.
I was sitting at a bar watching the game.
So you're watching. There was no shot in hell they would have beaten the Seahawks.
Like, if they had to play the Seahawks this weekend, the Eagles would have gotten trucked.
Yeah, like they would have
gotten
no
trucked.
shot.
There was no, and I'm the person who, stupidly, as much as I'll spike the football and a Phillies thing later, I absolutely was the person who was telling you, believing in that team too much. They would have gotten trucked.
Yeah, it would have been horrible.
If they had, but they wouldn't have had to go to Seattle this
right,
past
it would have been
weekend.
the NFC Championship game had they gotten
and you
that
never
far.
know, and you never know what happens. But Seattle would have trucked them.
Yeah.
There's no way the Eagles' defense couldn't hold up against a pea shooter of Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey and a bunch of nobodies. Seattle's offense would have owned them. And I don't know what the Eagles' offense would have done.
No, Eagles' offense would have done nothing like they did all season long.
Yeah, and you guys saw that coming. You guys saw it coming, and you believed in that much more than I did. They would have gotten trucked if they had to go to Seattle, but they wouldn't have. The game last night in Chicago, I think that would have been a 4-quarter game.
Yeah, but it would have been a fit, just like it was on Black Friday.
Exactly.
For all the wrong reasons,
Correct.
but that was a 4-quarter game as well. So how quick can they get back? Theoretically, right? Like a lot of things have to happen. They have to hire an offensive coordinator. There's a chance they trade A.J. Brown. They're going to have to rework some contracts. There will be people leaving due to free agency, right? I don't know if they re-sign Reed Blankenship, right? Like there's going to be changes to the Eagles' defense, even though there's the core will be there. So how quick can they get back? They can get back next year. Right,
they absolutely can.
I hope we're all on the same page here. Like that they didn't die last Sunday.
Like you're talking about, can the Eagles get back to us next year on this date talking about them going to the NFC title game?
Absolutely.
They absolutely can go back. There's no hesitation in my mind looking at the landscape of the NFC.
Yeah.
That they can go back. But this is going to be a critical offseason.
Absolutely.
And I got to watch them navigate this offseason.
Yeah.
To totally buy in, but no, they absolutely can.
Connor, I'll ask you, can they be back this time next year?
I'll do you one better. Recent history would tell you they will
Wild
be.
card, Super Bowl, wild card, Super Bowl, wild card. So if the trend continues, they'll be back in the Super Bowl next year. You just hope they win it again. All that being said, it makes this season even more criminal.
Oh, you're not kidding.
It makes the promotion of Kevin Patullo even more criminal. It makes staring at this offense and not fixing it or even coming close to fixing it more criminal. It makes Nick Sirianni more criminal for being an offensive-minded head coach and for the second time in 3 years not being able to figure out a disastrous collapse. And that's what makes me even angrier today. I watched that game. I watched the games yesterday. You're right, John. That Chicago game, Eagles could have won that game.
They absolutely could have.
The way they play their football, the brand of football that the Eagles play, the physical up front nature, running the football, they could have gone to Chicago and gotten that win yesterday. And the fact that they went home to a beat-up San Francisco 49ers team that in the very next week got destroyed 41-6 pisses me off even more. So when I remember some of our YouTube comments last week on Tuesday, right, 2 days after the Eagles lost, people saying, oh, my God, I'm already over it. We had people text in because we ended up making that a topic. I was like, there can't be other people that feel this way. There were people that texted in during the show on Tuesday, 2 days after losing the 49ers at home as 6-point favorites. There were people saying that they were already over it. When I watch this weekend slate of football and I see that 49ers team that you just lost to lose 41-6, I'm sorry, I'm not over it.
They were feckless. They had nothing on Saturday night. Nothing at all. That's where I think the Eagles would have gotten trucked. Like they weren't going to Seattle and winning. And that's where I had said to you, if the trifecta of getting to a Super Bowl would have been you have to beat the 49ers, beat the Rams, beat Seattle in Seattle, I do not think the Eagles would have gone to the Super Bowl. And I'm more convinced than ever that that's the case. They wouldn't have gone to the Super Bowl. So now, oddly enough, it makes me actually feel a little better.
Really? I feel
no. Here's why. Because I was the stupid one.
Yes.
That was saying to myself, okay, they can put it together. They can put together on any given day. They could put it together and find enough. They couldn't find enough to go to Seattle and beat that team. No, they could not. They couldn't. And when I saw the defense come up small, and the defense came up small against the 49ers, but the defense wasn't horrendous.
No.
But they came up small.
No, if their offense scores 24 points,
they should have won the game.
They win the football.
Right, exactly.
24 points. That's all I was asking for is 24 points.
No, but you shouldn't have given up 23 to that pop gun offense when they had one offensive weapon And they have Brock freaking Purdy, who turned the ball over three times.
Show some respect to all-pro fullback Chris Juszczyk, all right?
He turned the ball over 3 times, and you couldn't beat them. Horrendous.
Yep.
Absolutely horrendous.
Really bad. So, do you believe the Eagles can quickly get back? 610-632-0975. And if you do believe, much like I do and John does and Connor does that make you even angrier right now? Because I am more angry today. Look, here's the deal. I understand that you're saying, they wouldn't have beaten Seattle. Remember all I asked for in August was getting back to a title game. I didn't say Super Bowl or bust.
No, you didn't.
I just wanted to get to a title game. If you told me that my team went to a Super Bowl, wild card, Super Bowl victory, NFC Championship game appearance in a 4-year span, my God, that sounds great.
No, it does. It does. And the fact the way they went out at home, losing to that San Fran
makes it
team,
worse.
it sucks.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to tell you is, strangely enough, and it's why we don't do the show before the show, I feel better today after having watched football this weekend, because I know that, oh God, I hate to say this, I know that I should have been more like Andrew and Connor and more doubting of this team when I saw what I saw this weekend. And so to me, it makes me actually feel better because they weren't winning. This team wasn't going to the Super Bowl. There was no scenario where this team was going to the Super Bowl, and stupidly enough, I bought in. And that's on me. And that is on me. And I'm sorry if I led you down a path as a listener to buy into it going, yeah, they could put it together. They could do that. Yeah, BS.
We should call Kurt Warner, who called us crazy, Connor.
Uh-huh.
He said anybody that said 0% chance is crazy.
No, wait a minute, though. It wasn't 0% chance. It wasn't 0% chance because, no, it wasn't zero. But it was bad. It was bad. It wasn't zero. No, it wasn't.
It was pretty bad,
No,
John.
it was bad. No, it was bad, but it was not zero. It was absolutely not zero.
All right.
But it was bad.
Here's how I'm going to transition into our next topic, thanks to Dave on our YouTube chat. Andrew, I was over this season after that week they lost to the Cowboys and Bears. Now spring training is going to suck after Bo dissed us. Thank you, Dave, for the way to transition the show.
So Dave's writing teases for us now.
No, thank you.
Hey, Dave, we appreciate it on this.
Look, by the way, it's Martin Luther King Day.
Yep,
A lot of people
holiday.
have the day off today. So if you want to help us, we're still working. So if you want to help us a little bit, you can write teases for us on the YouTube chat.
This was supposed to be a national day of service, which is what this day was meant to be as a national holiday.
Absolutely.
So he was already of service to us as Dr. King was a service to his entire community and really the entire nation.
Damn right, Johnny. And thank you, Dave, for helping us out here. So the Phillies did not sign Bo Bichette.
I don't need to hear this ever again.
Bo Watch is officially over.
And I love that show.
Never going to stream again at 6:47 on Kincade Salciunas. It's officially dead.
Yeah, dead.
We decided to cut ties with the network. No more Bo Watch.
No more Pluto TV, which has its own channel of Baywatch.
Right, which is awesome. There's somebody out there that probably actually loves it.
Pluto TV, they probably bought, well, they have reasons for liking it.
So the Phillies didn't sign Bo Bichette. The Phillies then signed JT Realmuto as a fallback plan to a 3-year freaking contract worth $45 million for a 35-year-old catcher. What the hell happened on Friday?
They blinked. It's exactly what I told
God.
you. It's exactly what I've told you about the general manager, the president, the Pobo.
Yeah.
He blinks. You want him at your poker game
Yeah.
because he panicked and he blinked. And again, there was nobody offering a contract to JT Realmuto.
Nobody.
The Phillies bid against themselves for JT Realmuto.
3 years?
There was nobody in bidding for JT Realmuto. Every insider told you. And then they give him a 3-year deal, and they go $15 million a year? Are you freaking kidding me?
This might surprise you as Bo watched up as I was. I'm more angry about the JT thing. You signed a guy who's
It's horrible.
This is malpractice.
It's terrible.
Your team that is already old, right? It's
terrible.
old and it's not getting any younger, and you still have a lot of contracts. And oh, by the way, we've been complaining about running it back for 3 years now, right? We complained this after the 2023 season.
Some people have.
We complained more about it after the 2024 season. We were worried about it after this most recent season in 2025. And you re-signed a catcher who was a declining asset. Defensively, he still has it. I get it. But are you really signing a guy because you like his defense for 3 years, $45 million at the age of 35 with a potential lockout coming up too, by the way?
Nobody was knocking on the door to get JT Realmuto. And you go and give him 3 years? What are you doing, Phillies?
No idea.
Like, what are you doing?
No idea. Dave Dombrowski, as I've been saying for two and a half years now, is living off his resume. It's horrible.
Know what he did. He panicked. He went, oh, my gosh, I'm going to be sitting here with a pile of money because he got played. He got played by Bo Bichette. He got played by their camp. And like we said last week, maybe the Zoom meeting isn't like the big deal that everybody thinks it is.
I was excited.
You're getting back the backdoor negotiating by other people. You didn't see the Mets coming. You got totally caught with their pants down. A MLB player shared with an analyst to me that the Phillies absolutely were blindsided because a Phillies player was talking to an analyst saying they thought Bo Bichette was coming.
Yeah.
They had been led to believe that Bo Bichette was coming.
You know what this is? This is the Eagles wanting Ha-Ha Clinton Dix, and then the Packers drafted him. They're like, oh, bleep.
Oh, darn.
Let's get Marcus Smith.
I mean,
like that's what that was. Like, let's fall back to a plan that's just not smart.
And again, the Phillies play everything publicly. They do everything publicly.
Well,
they play all their cards publicly. What did the Mets do? The Mets were freaking stealth.
Yeah.
Did the Mets pant after Bo Bichette like a schoolgirl? No. The Mets did it in private.
Well, what they did was they didn't get Kyle Tucker, and they said, all right, let's quickly pivot and give a lot of money to Bo Bichette.
But they had already had a conversation with Bo Bichette that nobody knew about.
No.
Behind the scenes, because you know what they didn't have to do? They didn't have to tell every single Major League Baseball insider, which is the only way that the Major League Baseball insiders know that it happens, is if it leaks. Bo Bichette's camp didn't leak that the Mets had already talked to them.
Yeah.
So that means all the leaks about Bo Bichette came from the Phillies, which means Dave Dombrowski and his camp were leaking to Major League Baseball insiders. Hey, we're in on Bo Bichette.
You know why? Because so they can try to say, hey, fan base.
We're trying.
Love us.
We're
trying.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Now, a lot of people thought that the Bo Bichette signing was going to happen, like every report in the world. Now, to your point, it was probably being told by the Philadelphia Phillies that was happening.
You get suckered in every freaking time, media members. You're getting suckered in over and over again. How many times are you going to open your mouth, get the hook in your mouth, and be reeled in? How many times?
After the news broke on Friday that Bo Bichette was signing with the New York Mets, Jason Stark, Hall of Fame baseball writer, as we know, joined Unfiltered and talked about what went down.
You know, Bill, if you'd had me on yesterday, I would not have foreshadowed this. I thought other teams thought the Phillies had positioned themselves as the clear favorite to sign Bo. I think they were. I think they thought they were. I got the sense there was a lot of excitement inside that front office about adding Bo, even though it would have created some complications in other ways. Just the whole sequence of events of Kyle Tucker signing for what he signed for, and then the Mets kind of following that model and offering him an insane average annual salary as opposed to the years that the Phillies are trying to entice him with. And it's all a big never mind now, except for the part where I'm pretty sure Bo Bichette shouldn't expect a real hospitable welcome when the Mets arrive in town.
Oh yeah, he's gonna get booed. But my first thought isn't yell at Bo Bichette. My first thought is what happened. There's the art of the deal, right?
Yes.
And to your point, the Phillies are very public with their wants, which is why nobody's going to pick up Nick Castellanos. Which is why, by the way, you don't tell the public what you don't like about your roster. They're also going to have to hold the hand of Alec Boehm for another spring training. Remember last year?
Yes.
Oh, he's in really good spirits. He's in a really good mood because they had to coddle him after they tried publicly trading him before the 2024 season. You know what they're going to have to do again now?
Coddle him.
This is one of the more. Like Alec Boehm, think about this for a second. Alec Boehm admitted to you that the moment was too bright for this team during the Dodgers series.
You start feeling tight when things start going bad here.
He admitted that. And then this is after a year in which the Phillies publicly tried trading him. And now they did it again this offseason. And now they're going to have to talk about this guy who they realize the moment's been too bright for him. He has had some issues in the past with his emotions. They're going to have to once again coddle him to try to make him feel good for another 12 home run season.
Because of the fact that they play everything publicly.
It's horrible.
You do not tell people, what did Howie Roseman do with Carson Wentz? What did Howie Roseman do with Hassan Reddick? He wanted to trade them, but he built them up. He talked about all their positives because he wanted to build them up. Dave Dombrowski, Nick Castellanos, downplay them. To Alec Boehm, downplay them. He plays everything wrong. And the Mets snuck right around you quietly, and they weren't running to favorable media members to leak stories, trying to get favorable press.
Now, here's the funny thing. Coming up next, you'll hear Jason Stark again, and you're going to hear what a lot of people are going to tell you. And I'm not going to buy it at all because winning in the regular season doesn't matter at this point, which is why John Kincade said something like a month ago that I got to hold you to and see if you still feel this way. Because I know a lot of people in this city will. Hear what next? Kincade Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic. All right, let's talk about that FanDuel Sportsbook app because tonight is the national championship game. College football championship tonight. It is your last boost of the season. Profit boosts have been going on throughout the college football playoffs on FanDuel. Pick the side you believe in or build a parlay that will fit the moment. Then apply your profit boost and go after a boosted payout with everything on the line. I would not overthink this one at all. As good as Miami's defense has been, as fun of a story as they have been, right, with all the conversations about it should be them or Notre Dame, they get into the playoffs, and now they're in the college football championship game. Don't overthink it. Go with Indiana. Their team is perfect. FanDuel is the best place to get into the championship action, and when you win, you get paid instantly. So visit FanDuel.com/local to get your college playoff profit boost today. That's FanDuel.com/local. You got to be 21 plus, present in Pennsylvania, opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-trouble profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Championship matchup set. I'm Connor Thomas, and the NFL championship games are set after the divisional round wrapped up yesterday. It'll be an NFC West showdown on the NFC side as the Niners travel to Seattle. In the AFC, the Broncos will host the Patriots, but will have to do so without Bo Nix, who suffered a broken ankle in the divisional round. Meanwhile, the Eagles are continuing their search for their next offensive coordinator. We'll keep you updated on any news that breaks on that front. Phillies had a wild couple of days as Bo Bichette shockingly signed with the Mets. The Phils then pivoted to re-signing JT Realmuto to a 3-year, $45 million deal. Jason Stark joined Unfiltered on Friday to break down the mayhem.
I thought other teams thought the Phillies had positioned themselves as the clear favorite to sign Bo. I think they were. I think they thought they were. Just a whole sequence of events. And it's all a big never mind now.
We'll be reacting to that news all day here on Kincade Salciunas. The Sixers host the Pacers tonight at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live here on The Fanatic. Flyers play the Golden Knights in Vegas, an 8 p.m. puck drop you can hear over on WMMR. And don't miss Miami taking on Indiana. We'll have live coverage of that here on The Fanatic after the Sixers game. Bob Nightingale of USA Today joins us at 8:05 to talk about the Phillies free agency frenzy. This update is brought to you by Corona. This Thursday from 6 to 8, Andrew Salciunas and Corona are at Casey's in Drexel Hill for a 97.5 The Fanatic Sixers pregame party. Enjoy $17.50 Corona family buckets and a chance to win Sixers tickets. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly. I'm Connor Thomas for home the Sixers, Flyers, and the Best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Let's get back to more of Kincade and Salciunas right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
This hour of Kincade Salciunas is presented by Bradford White Water Heaters. Bradford White, they're here for the pro.
Now, while a lot of you may be sleeping in this morning on this Martin Luther King Day, I want to give a shout-out to the great Sean Rodman, our associate producer here on Kincade and Salciunas. Not only was there some pretty rough roads out there this morning with the weather that we dealt with last night, he also had a flat tire.
That sucks.
So imagine you go to your car, you dust it all off, you got it warmed up, and then you start to drive and you realize one of the tires is flat. And
that
yet,
sucks.
he still found a way to get in. And I respect that because a lot of people would give up and say, I'm not going to be able to make it.
Roads, everything.
But Sean Rodman made it in, so shout out to you, Sean. DeAndre Ayton. Remember when he played for the Phoenix Suns? The roads were too icy for him. He didn't drive.
See,
you guys remember that story?
No.
You don't remember that?
No,
It was 2
They
years
were
ago.
icy in Phoenix?
Something. I forget what the story was.
It can't be icy in Phoenix.
The roads were too icy.
Well, they've never had ice in Phoenix.
And DeAndre Ayton was like, I'm not going to be able to make it in.
Sean
Where
Rodman,
was he?
who's the authority on flat tires and icy roads, says he was in Portland at the time.
Here's what
with the
I'm going to
Blazers.
say.
He was with Portland.
I
Thank
would suggest to you, too, by the way, if you were coming out from the Westchester area and you were you're going towards King of Prussia on 202 and the Schuylkill down towards the city. There are very bad spots, and the bridges are not good.
Yeah, so be careful.
So maybe if the sun ever comes out here, which is like every fifth day, if the sun does come out, maybe stuff will melt and everything, but the roads are in slick conditions. Please be careful.
Yeah, when I got here at 5:10, which is 10 minutes later than normal, I saw Connor and John pulling in at the exact same time, and I was like, "All right, so we all
were all late.
We all had the same
Not
same
fun.
kind
Hey,
of
if
ride.
I made it in the Mustang, anybody can make it.
Exactly.
Just drive
That's
safe.
the truth,
I'm
Connor.
proud of you.
Really.
I'm professional.
All right, you can text in 610-632-0975. Call in as well. YouTube, we got you. Thank you as always. Can the Eagles quickly get back? If you watched the NFL yesterday, there was no shot in hell that they were going to beat the Seattle Seahawks regardless of the round in which they played them in. They could have beaten the Bears, and if they beat the 49ers last week, the team that lost 41-6 yesterday, the Eagles would be in the NFC Championship game, potentially, if they could have beaten the Chicago Bears.
No, and I believe where I told you there's no way they would have gone to Seattle and won. They absolutely could have beaten the Bears. What I saw the Bears yesterday, the Eagles could have won that game.
Absolutely.
But I mean, just
they lost
crazy.
to the 49ers in round one.
And by the way, the Bears could have won yesterday too if their coach just this obsession with the fourth down crap. They passed 2 easy field goals up.
Yeah.
And just even if they had one of them.
They thought that
if they had one of
I
them.
bet you they thought they needed to score touchdowns against that Rams team.
Yeah, it's great.
Without taking into account the weather and how horrible it was at Soldier
Take
Field.
the freaking points. You're an underdog. You're a young, spunky team. Take points when they're gift points.
And you're at home too.
Hey,
Oh
they
my
covered.
gosh.
They covered. Yeah, I'm not happy
It's
about it.
unbelievable.
Good teams
All
win.
right,
Great teams come.
2 more clips for you, and then I need to hold John Kincade to something. I believe that he will allow it for many people, but it's going to be an uncomfortable conversation. Here's Jason Stark. So we played the clip of him from Unfiltered on Friday in the previous segment where he was talking about everybody in the world thought Bo Bichette was signing with the Phillies, and then what took place Friday, the Mets swoop in, they get Bo Bichette, and now we're all pissed off here. Here was Jason Stark talking about what he sees will happen the rest of the offseason.
I don't think there's a big splash coming. Let me try to explain to you the way this all went. Okay, so I think the word for this winter that I would use is disappointing. I would have used a different word if they'd signed Bo, but think about this. Didn't they have to bring back Schwarber? They did. Somebody was going to have to catch. It was going to be JT or somebody else. Look at the free agent market. Tell me who else that was going to be. JT is a better option than anybody else in that market. They had to open up an avenue for Justin Crawford to play the outfield. They had to open up a spot for Andrew Painter to start doing whatever he's going to be in this rotation. They had to get Nick Castellanos out of here. They did all of that. I think at the beginning of the winter, they were prepared to trade Alec Bohm and fill some other needs. I think that's really unlikely now. They're in a funny spot where they're way over budget, they're way over the highest tax threshold, and they think they're better than Philadelphia. thinks they
I love that last line. They think they're better than what Philadelphia thinks.
Well, that's why they sit up there at press conferences, Dave Dombrowski does,
We're a
and
good
tells
club.
you 96 wins. We won 96 games. Dave, when you have the third highest payroll in baseball, stop celebrating 96 wins. You should win 90 games in your sleep.
Yeah.
When you have the third highest payroll. 90 wins should be as I've always said, if you have the third highest payroll, a top 5 payroll, 90 wins should be mediocre. 96? Yeah, that's a good number. That's a good number. But I mean, seriously, it's about what you do in October.
Yeah, and you heard Jason Stark there. He doesn't expect any other changes. Alec Boehm, they're going to have to coddle him yet again because they had his name out there for trade for 2 straight seasons now.
Can I, you know how much I love Jason Stark?
Yeah.
Can I tell how much I heard that interview? Can I tell you how much I was disappointed with Jason's take on the JT Realmuto thing?
What, that they needed him?
Look, Jason, and you're telling me no other team was in on JT Realmuto unless there's some information that Jason Stark has that he hasn't reported or that no other baseball insider has reported, whether it's MLB Network or whether it's ESPN or otherwise. No other team was in on JT Realmuto. So the Phillies had to go 3 years, $15 million?
Well, I didn't hear him say he likes the contract.
Well,
I
no.
heard him say they needed him back.
Well,
They
the thing
needed a
is,
catcher.
if you say they needed a catcher and you say they needed JT Realmuto back and you say, sure. If they said after that deal, we brought back JT Realmuto on a 1-year deal, $15 million, I'm all in. I'm all in.
Yeah, I was for a one. I was for a 2-year deal. Honestly,
a 2-year deal. If you told me 2-year deal, $27 million, I think I would have. I think I would have been okay. Are you kidding me? $45 million for JT Realmuto
with incentives, by the way.
He's been a declining asset for 4 years.
Yeah,
he's going downhill. There's nothing going uphill in his game. His defense is not going uphill. His offense is not going uphill. He usually has around 2 good offensive months, maybe 3. And you're going to pay him top of the market money at catcher? It's ridiculous. You panicked. They blinked. I wanted to hear Jason Stark, one of the most respected voices that I know in the game. I wanted to hear him say the Phillies blinked. They blinked because, Jason, that's what they did. They blinked. They panicked. They had to have some PR move because Dave Dombrowski got freaked out when he lost out on Bo Bichette. He freaked out, and he's like, wait a minute. Now if I lose out on JT Realmuto, if somebody swoops in, I'm screwed.
Think about what we were talking about last week. There was a world of a possibility. May not have been much, but there was a possibility that they got both.
There was a possibility.
Right, that they signed Bichette, and then there was no market for JT, and JT goes, all right, well, this is my best chance to win. I'll take whatever 1 or 2 year deal, even though the reported 3-year deal first was put on the table a while ago, which still is crazy for me to think about that. I don't understand how somebody thinks that was a good idea. But there was a world where you were able to get both. Instead, you lose Bo Bichette and you get the declining asset for 3 years. Now, here's the deal. I need to hold you to something. I was proud of you like a month ago because you said you'd be all right with it. I wonder, on January 19th, this was on post-show headlines. Will he say it on the radio?
What's that?
That you won't get all that upset if somebody does drop a wake me up when.
No, I'm not going to have a problem with it. No, the Phillies broke me. If you saw the video I posted Friday afternoon, I went out to the back deck.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was being too loud.
Oh, nice.
So I went to the back deck and
you
did
got
a
sent
video.
outside. That's what I do with my dog sometimes.
I went to the back deck and did a video, and I was like, look, and I think Frank and Pat heard me before they went back to San Diego yesterday morning. I was loud. And I'm like, no, I am not going to play. Now, I will not be that person.
I got you. Yeah.
But I absolutely will not blame a Phillies fan unless, only caveat, you have, what do we have, like 8 weeks, 9 weeks for something to change. 10, well, no, more than that, like 11 weeks for something to change. There are things that could potentially sweeten the pot. There are potentially moves that could be made that could change that. But right now, today, on Martin Luther King Day, I absolutely would have no problem with a Phillies fan saying, wake me up. Because Dave Dombrowski's offseason plan is like Weekend at Bernie's. Somebody has propped up Dave, and they got him on a thing, and they're carrying him around. Because I don't know what this offseason plan was. All I know is they got older, they got dumber, the contract's worse, and their roster is absolutely worse. Their roster's worse.
It's amazing. They're literally running it back. Just take out Max Kepler, add in Adalis Garcia, and throw Brad Keller into the bullpen, which it was a good move. Like, I like Keller, but you got to be winning in the 8th inning.
I like Keller for Strom, so I'll be fair.
Sure.
I like Keller for Strom. I like Garcia for Kepler.
But it's the same story.
But it's the same story.
Is he going to have
Is he going to have a rebirth? But I do like, if you told me the two players, I'll take Garcia.
But are those two players that you acquired making you feel like the World Series is coming to Philadelphia?
But neither one of those covers the loss of Ranger Suarez.
No.
And don't tell me about, well, you had to clear the spot for Andrew Painter. You have no idea what Andrew Painter is. You have no idea what he is. And if you're telling me that Andrew Painter's going to give you what Ranger Suarez has the last 3 years for this franchise, you're out of your mind. You must be psychic. You're Miss Cleo. Give me your 800 number because I need the lottery numbers.
All right, we'll check our text line for the first time. Coming up next, 610-632-0975. Eagles topic, do you believe they can get back to being these true contenders quickly next season? We all say yes. It just pisses me off even more about how this season ended up. Also, now, are you going to be a Wake Me Up When fan? I almost feel like the majority will be at this point. Curious. 610-632-0975. Also, coming up next, has anyone noticed how bad it's been in this city? My God, does it need a change? It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. All right. Come hang out with me and my friends from Corona this Thursday, January 22nd, at Casey's in Drexel Hill from 6 to 8 for a Sixers pregame party you don't want to miss. I had an absolute blast, as I always do, with my friends at Corona. But on Friday, we had such a good time at Nick's on 2nd Street. A lot of people were there. A lot of people were going after the Sixers tickets. Believe it or not, our winner, John, was somebody from the UK. He's just here. He ended up signing up.
Is he going to be around?
It's going to be his first basketball game of his life.
That's fantastic.
And he's going on Monday. I was so happy for him. So I'll be hanging out with you at Casey's in Drexel Hill this Friday from 6 to 8, getting you ready for tip-off. We've got great drink specials all night long. You could get the Corona Family Bucket. Now, obviously, everybody has to at least be 21 years old. $17.50 for the Corona Family Bucket, the perfect way to kick off your Sixers night. And here's the best part. You can win a pair of Sixers tickets to an upcoming home game. So grab your friends, stop by Casey's Drexel Hill, and hang out with us from 6 to 8 this Thursday night. It is the Fanatic Sixers pregame party hosted by me, Andrew Salciunas, in partnership with Corona. You must be 21 plus. Please drink responsibly. For more details, visit 975thefanatic.com. We'll see you there.
The Fanatics and The Fanatic.
6:47 on this unfortunate Football Monday, where we didn't get to watch the Eagles play yesterday. Football Mondays on The Fanatic, presented to us by the local Bryant Home Comfort Team. Visit nopaybryant.com to keep your HVAC in the starting lineup. All right. Before we get to our text line, we've had a rough go with it here recently. So
Wow.
the Eagles,
You're really stating the obvious.
tumultuous roller coaster ride of a season. Let's not just act like last Sunday was part of it. The Commanders game the week before that had a lot of people very upset with the decision to rest the starters, and then they don't get the 2 seed and it was the doomsday scenario for those of you who wanted the starters to play. And so the Eagles lose to the Commanders, don't get the 2 seed, and then they lose in round 1 of the 49ers. And then we watched the 49ers yesterday lose 41-6. And then it makes me get even angrier that the Eagles could not score 24 points against that banged-up defense. By the way, Seattle scoring 41 points. I know they got the opening kickoff return for a touchdown. Seattle scoring 41 points. Nobody talks about the Seahawks offense being some prolific offense, right? I know they score a lot of points, but people point to Sam Darnold.
At home they do.
Right. People point to Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's a problem.
Yes.
That team that has a problem at quarterback scored 41 points against the same defense that the Eagles could score only 19 against.
And Connor, that has to sort of go away.
Yeah.
He was freaking unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean,
He did his job.
He was unbelievable.
here's what I'll say. I said when Seattle got the 1 seed, I might have said this on the pregame show, not on this one, but once they got the 1 seed, they became a viable Super Bowl team to me. Because Sam Darnold going on the road is very different than him getting to play at home with that defense. But credit to him. He's been good.
Yeah.
So you're saving your good content for the pregame show?
Yeah, absolutely.
I understand that.
Bring some of it to our show.
I understand that, though.
We'd love that.
occasionally.
Sixers have dropped 3 out of their last 4. They played such a weird schedule. Back-to-back games with Toronto and then back-to-back games with Cleveland.
I hate the scheduling.
The
in the
2
NBA.
losses to Cleveland puts playoffs into perspective, right? You're going, all right, they should be in the playoffs. Cleveland will be one of those teams that you could potentially face. And Cleveland is guard heavy, wing heavy, and the Sixers have no perimeter defense, which is why they lost game 1, 133-107. And then in the second game, they blew a lead late because the Cavs just sort of turned it on from the outside, attacking the basket, and the Sixers had no answers. So the Sixers have lost 3 out of their last 4. They've lost back-to-back games against a potential playoff team that they could face in Cleveland. The Flyers have not won a game since we went.
They have really been bad.
What day was that? January 6th. So 13 days ago was the last Flyers win.
6 games, they have 1 point. 5 consecutive games, no points.
Oy.
And more importantly, how bad is it, though, Andrew?
It's
how bad is it?
6 goals, 5 goals, 5 goals,
Eagles,
7 goals.
How about they've been outscored 29-11 in their last 5 games? That is so horrendous.
Yeah, it's bad.
Because the special teams are terrible. The goaltending is horrendous with Dan Vladar injured now.
Yep. And we were concerned. We were pointing out the amount of games played. He had never reached that total this early on.
But the special teams are atrocious.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm going to tell you, the
special teams in this town is
the play that I've
Jake
seen.
Elliott.
The last 2 games that I've seen them play, lazy.
Yeah, they look dead. 6-3 losses, both Pittsburgh and New York.
They look lazy.
Put Braden Mann out there. He's the only
Brady,
good special.
you know what? Brady Mann, I'm telling you, MVP of the Eagles.
Jordan Davis.
Nobody wants to hear MVP of the Eagles. At least the Eagles' offense was Braden Mann. And then, of course, the Phillies not getting Bo Bichette on Friday. So it's been a rough 2 weeks.
And Rangers signing with Boston.
And Rangers going to Boston.
That was assumed, but at the same time, still sucks.
Still sucks. All right, what do we got? What do we got on the text line today? We have an Eagles topic for you. Do you think they can quickly get back next year? And if so, how? We believe that they can. It just pisses me off even more that we're at where we're at right now. And then are you going to be a Wake Me Up When fan for the Phillies? You'll watch games, but you're not going to really buy into anything until October. I'm not saying wake me up like somebody's not going to watch a single pitch all season. You know, that's semantics.
But their expectations are just...
Yeah, you're even if they start the season 15-0, you're going to be like, all right, but playoff time, what are you going to do? What do we got on the text line?
Yeah, Dan from Warminster will lead us off, and he says, the Eagles are like the early 2010s San Francisco Giants, winning even years. I'll take it.
Okay.
So there's belief that that trend is going to continue.
Hopefully.
All right.
That'd be great if it was.
Yeah, I can't guarantee it for next year, but sure. I'll sign up for it if somebody guarantees it for me.
I'll sign up for it.
Yeah,
That'd be fun.
Sure. It's still not going to ease the pain of this year that I thought they should have gotten back there.
Yeah,
if they had a competent offensive coordinator.
Honestly, though, this weekend, this is just where we're different. It's like this weekend made me feel better.
I can't believe that.
You're
I
not
feel
alone.
I feel angrier.
Am I alone? Connor,
No,
or
you're not. Dave in Milwaukee says, Andrew, for the same reason you're pissed off, I'm relieved. Imagine if the Birds did make it to the NFC Championship only to lose to Seattle. We'd be hearing how Kevin Petullo overcame adversity and is ready to grow
and
in
he'd be sticking
2026.
around.
The only way we get back is with a strong OC, so I'm relieved we lost.
If Kevin Petullo won 2 playoff games, he absolutely would be back.
Yeah.
All right.
He would have been back.
So we had to do this. Is where this
well,
is,
no, but
We didn't have to, but it's
find the silver lining in the bad thing.
necessary step for change to be made.
because I wouldn't have whined about getting to an NFC Championship game.
You would have whined if Kevin Petullo was staying.
Yeah, probably is true. Depends on how they got to the NFC Championship game.
What do you mean?
If they won 3-0 each game.
I don't want Kevin Petullo back in any way, shape, or form, but I didn't want him from the beginning.
I know. What else we got?
All right, we also have people checking in on the Phillies conversation, and Joe the Cynic says Phillies continue to almost get free agents while they stay complacent with the same underperformers in the lineup. Dombrowski is simply a puppet and just a name at this point.
I mean, I've been saying it since the trade deadline of 2024. He's been living off of his resume here in Philadelphia. It's a great one. It's a great one.
What's it mean he's a puppet?
I don't know. I don't think I don't agree with the puppet
Dave
part.
Dombrowski's making all the moves.
Yeah.
This is what he did. He has made this mess.
I mean, you called him Weekend at Bernie's last segment.
No, but this
You
is
did, you
no
did
because I think the moves that he's made, the approach that he's taken, is brain dead. Pop needs more tapioca because I don't know what's going on. Like, I don't know what's going on. Somebody's napped through the strategy sessions of building a baseball team. The Phillies are so damn old.
I gotta wonder, when Bichette gets offered the 3-year deal, I'm waiting for the report of did the Phillies get a chance to.
No, the Phillies were not because of the fact that the Phillies said we will not give any void years.
Yeah, no opt-outs.
No opt-outs. Right. So the Phillies, by sticking to an antiquated, we will not. So by saying we will not even consider it.
Yeah.
They were out. They were out. Bichette's camp is like, oh, we're not going back to the Phillies. They told us they will not do this. Wow. So isn't that great?
Yeah.
Isn't that just awesome?
All right, we'll keep on checking our text line because there's a lot of unhappy people, as you should be. It has sucked the last 2 weeks here in Philadelphia sports.
Oof.
When just 2 weeks ago was great.
Oof.
Oh, I mean, I didn't feel great about the Eagles, but Flyers were in a good spot. Sixers we were feeling good about. Eagles were at least excited going into the playoffs. Phillies, you were excited about some rumors, but that's all it was.
They fell for
Just rumors. Coming up next, offensive coordinator search. There was a lot of stuff going down this weekend. The Eagles were attached to pretty much every single name. We'll go through all the reports coming up next. And John has some insight on an intriguing candidate. It is Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Divisional round wrapped up. I'm Connor Thomas, and the NFL championship games are set after the divisional round got wrapped up yesterday. It's going to be an NFC West showdown as the Niners travel to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. In the AFC, the Broncos will host the Pats, but will have to do so without Bo Nix, who suffered a broken ankle in the divisional round. Sorry, it's actually the Rams traveling to Seattle. I apologize. Meanwhile, the Eagles are continuing their search for the next offensive coordinator. We'll keep you updated on any news that breaks on that front. Phillies had a wild couple of days. Bo Bichette shockingly signing with the New York Mets after the Phillies were rumored as the favorite, then pivoting to signing JT Realmuto to a 3-year, $45 million deal. Jason Stark gave his thoughts on the Phillies offseason on Unfiltered on Friday.
I don't think there's a big splash coming. I think the word for this winter that I would use is disappointing, but they're in a funny spot where they're way over budget, and they think they're better than Philadelphia thinks they are.
Well, they better prove it this year because a lot in the fan base are upset with the way the offseason has gone. Sixers host the Pacers tonight at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live here on the Fanatic. Flyers play the Golden Knights in Vegas, an 8 p.m. puck drop. You can hear that over on WMMR. Miami takes on Indiana at 7:30 in the College Football National Championship. That game live here after the Sixers wrap up. And we'll talk to Bob Nightingale of USA Today at 8:05 for the latest on the Phils. This update's brought to you by Audible. If you're stuck in traffic, take care of you with help from the top voices in well-being on Audible. Sign up for a free trial at audible.com/wellbeing. I'm Connor Thomas for 97.5 The Fanatic.
Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Coming up later on in the show, we'll give you the tracker of drama with the Philadelphia Eagles. I actually, Connor, I forgot to tell you, I want you to grab the theme song. John could probably just sing it for us.
What's that?
The theme song of All My Children.
Okay.
I want to call it All My Eagles because there was just so much nonsense that took place over the weekend of finger pointing and, of course, reports that A.J. Brown has been asking for trades going back to week 3.
Or really, it could be the young and the restless because they are young.
Yeah,
they have a young team, and the restless is about to be jettisoned.
Yeah,
number 11.
Exactly. And for all the people that were so upset that we talked about the A.J. Brown drama, what do you say now? Because the guy apparently has been trying to get traded since September.
Joe Santalaquita with a nice piece.
Yep. And people get upset because it's Joe.
Well, Joe was
he wrong about the Wentz story?
No, Joe was exactly correct and was getting crushed about it when he wrote it. Joe was my high school classmate. I've known Joe since 9th grade. Great dude.
Yeah.
And Joe was exactly correct with the Carson Wentz story. Joe, I am going to assume, knowing his character and knowing his integrity, is exactly correct about this one, too. I know it's well-sourced, let's put it that way.
And I remember when the Wentz story came out, it was because it wasn't bad yet, and people were like, whoa, where the hell is this coming from? And everybody got so upset. Vandalizing his damn car and stuff. Now that you know the story is true, I would imagine you should believe his reporting a little bit, especially when this one's not a surprise that A.J. Brown has apparently been asking for trades because he's been upset literally all freaking season. But before we get to any of that.
Because he's nuts.
Credit to Bleeding Green Nation because that's who Joe Santalaquita writes for. Bleeding Green Nation has the tracker going for offensive coordinator. So we'll do the drama later.
All right.
We'll do the offensive coordinator stuff first because who knows? Maybe one change at OC could get the Eagles back to where they were at last year, or at least where our expectations are. And that's one of our topics today. It's 610-632-0975. How quickly can the Eagles get back to being a true contender? We all believe they can get back there next year, which is why I'm even more upset about how this season played out, because they didn't do a search. And what you'll hear now is that the Eagles are doing an extensive search for an offensive coordinator to run the ship with a lot of talent, whether A.J. Brown's here or not.
And latitude.
Yes.
Which I like.
All right. So here are the confirmed interviews and completed interviews. The Eagles, will start with yesterday, per reports, completed an interview with Jim Bob Cooter.
Yes.
He's the offensive coordinator for the Indianapolis Colts.
A lot of college experience.
Shane Steichen was saying, it's okay, man. Go do your thing if you want to go out there, because he's not calling plays in Indianapolis. It's the Shane Steichen show. So Jim Bob Cooter, and of course a lot of people were upset with it, and I don't blame people.
Why would they be upset with it?
Because Nick knows him, and there's worry that is this another.
Jim Bob Cooter has a fine reputation in the SEC.
Sure.
Played quarterback in the SEC. Everyone that I know that talks SEC football speaks highly of him, and he worked with Steichen. That's good enough for me for him to get to the interview table and to have a chance to get the job.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do I know if he deserves to call plays? I don't know.
So he's a fun name looking at the name, but he's not a fun name when you think about these innovative offensive
seems like
minds.
a safe hire.
Exactly.
Right? And all the reports last week where they're going for the biggest names.
Now, you think safe hire. I don't look at it that way. I look at him as an a little bit out-of-the-box hire because he's never called plays.
Yeah.
I look at the safe hire as being the big names that you're going to trot out. Those are the safe hires. The safe hires are the guys. The safe hires are the guys that have done it before.
Yeah,
the out-of-the-box hires are the ones who have
When
it.
I say safe hire, because you're right. When I say safe hire, and again, this is all semantics, there's guys like Mike McDaniel that are going to demand things if they come here.
Oh, no question.
Brian Dable's going to demand things if he comes here.
I don't think Mike McDaniel's coming here, by the way.
Is Jim Bob Cooter going to demand stuff?
No, he can't.
Right, so that's what I'm saying.
He doesn't have the ability to.
We can keep doing what we want to do if we bring in Jim Bob Cooter, and that's what kind of worries me.
Okay, so that I think that's a valid concern on your part.
January 17th, Jeremy Fowler reported that the Eagles completed an interview with Mike Kafka. We know he was the OC with the Giants, Chiefs before that. He was the interim head coach with the Giants.
No thanks.
Yeah.
No thanks. Nope. No, I'm out on Kafka. No thanks.
I feel like he was a hot name 4 years ago.
Yes, no thanks. Because again, he's been on the shelf. You know, there used to be when I lived in the Exton area before, there was one of these. We used to have a Pepperidge Farm store.
Okay, they remember.
And you could go very good. And you could and you could go to it, and they would sell the day after bread. And you could go, and it was fine for me. I would get every single week. I would get a loaf of their raisin bread, the cinnamon raisin toast. I would get a loaf every week. I would stop in, get a loaf of the cinnamon raisin toast, and you'd get it for like 79 cents because it was the day after. Get one every week. And that is Mike Kafka to me. It's the cinnamon raisin toast from the old Pepperidge Farm store. Why do they not have one in Exton anymore?
That might be one of the meanest things you've ever compared somebody to. He's day-old raisin bread loaf.
Yeah, but guess what? They were still selling him. He's still on the shelf, and I want to know, where did it go? Where did the day-old shop go?
And then, of course, January 16th, the very first interview that the Eagles conducted for the vacant offensive coordinator position was Zach Robinson, who was the offensive coordinator with the Atlanta Falcons. How did that work?
No. And by the way, if it ends up being Zach Robinson, I have numerous people that we will talk to about it.
Yeah.
And I'm not overly enthused, but there are some people who will speak. He has some redeeming qualities. No, not enough for me. I do not
He just confused me. Like, you have Bijan Robinson, and yet they were doing, like, split. They were splitting the carries.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, Bijan Robinson, their run sets were really creative and really interesting, which may be what really interests the Eagles.
Of course.
Their run formations and everything were really interesting.
Because that's what Nick wants.
And that could be. And that's
why some of these names I go, is this the big splash, or is this what Nick Sirianni wants?
By the way, watch Robinson. Watch him be, I consider him to be like
Zach Robinson, you're saying.
Yeah,
Zach
Robinson.
Not Bijan Robinson.
No, Zach Robinson.
I was going to say, what do you make a trade? Yeah. Can that be a package deal?
Hot candidate. Hot candidate.
We'll get the whole Swiss family of them.
Those were the confirmed, completed interviews. Now we have the rumored interest in interviews, right? This is where the camps are trying to figure out, hey, are we going to have complete autonomy, which is what the report was last week that some of the top candidates want. That's Brian Dable.
Well, he has an interview scheduled.
Yes.
So he's coming in. So they've already worked that out. He knows that he was not coming in without understanding the situation. He's coming in.
And then Jeff Darlington on Saturday reported that Mike McDaniel will interview with the Eagles for the offensive coordinator position at some point.
I don't believe there is a chance that Mike McDaniel's getting this job, taking this job, or is a good fit for this job.
It's also completely different. Look, I get it. I don't want it to be under the umbrella of what Nick Sirianni wants, but it's a complete difference.
It's completely different.
Like 180. We don't motion just to motion. We motion every single play.
Right.
And that's just motion. I'm not even talking about everything
absolutely.
else. So I don't know if it would be the right fit.
And I also believe he's going to get a head coaching job. I think he's going to be the Cleveland Browns coach. Does he
not scream Cleveland?
And if Robert Saleh doesn't get the Nashville job, the Titans job, I could see him getting the Titans job.
Yeah, so he'll kill Cam Ward.
McDaniel's getting another job. I think Mike McDaniels is getting another job.
Yeah, there was a big push of, like, this is him in meeting rooms, and
I'll tell
everybody
you, though,
was saying he's a
I thought it
genius.
was impressive.
No, it was.
I thought it was impressive, the videos that they've shown of him. I think it speaks very highly of it.
Really worked out well in Miami.
It did not, but...
neither did Vic Fangio.
But
it's because he's coaching too hard.
I think that Tua really was a big part of that.
Sure. We talked about Charlie Weiss Jr. a lot last week.
I am a fan of that one.
I know you're excited about that one. And then lastly, this one was reported just yesterday from Adam Schefter that the Eagles requested to interview Dolphins passing game coordinator Bobby Slowick.
Now... You got me at Bobby Slowick.
So this one's interesting. If you guys don't remember, Bobby Slowick was the offensive coordinator of the Houston Texans for 2 seasons. And last year and 2 years ago, there was a lot of talk about C.J. Stroud taking that next step. Right? He's finally becoming sort of that quarterback that you can feel comfortable with. They did not bring him back. You told me it was a...
Okay, well, no.
Go ahead.
I'll
Tell the
I'll tell
story.
you a flat-out story. So Sean Salisbury's old co-host is a buddy of mine, Dan Matthews, and yesterday he jumped on my timeline and said, Bobby Slowick, hire him today.
Yeah.
The people around the Texans, and they're the Texans station, they love this guy. He was the passing game coordinator there. They love him. Here's the story. Bobby Slowick reportedly he is very much a alpha male as far as a teacher. And when him and C.J. Stroud were learning, he was trying to teach C.J. Stroud the offense. And C.J. Stroud would keep bringing up, well, we used to call these plays at Ohio State. This is how we did it at Ohio State. This is how. And reportedly, they had a behind-the-scenes blow-up that was very visible that teammates talked about to the media. That Slowick literally told him, I don't give a
bleep
what you did at Ohio State. This is pro football. I don't give a damn what you did at Ohio State. This is pro football. And then they went at it with each other. And then it was listening ears off by C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
And the organization decided to hook their wagon to C.J. Stroud.
How'd that work out yesterday?
He left. Slowick left. And Slowick is available. I'm very intrigued. I'm very intrigued. To me, very, very intrigued. Sean Salisbury knows a lot about Slowick. We might end up talking to Sean
back on again.
because he knows a lot about Slowick too. The people in Houston around the organization think they made the wrong choice in not making
Slowick
C.J. Stroud.
at one point was getting head coach interviews.
He was getting that this guy is a real.
And he takes a step back from OC of the Texans to pass game coordinator with the Miami Dolphins.
To work with McDaniel.
Right. So let's think about it from the Eagles' perspective, right? Other than just play calling and all that kind of stuff. I think it was Tim McManus last week that said it, and I think we can see it. We know Jalen Hurts, right? Son of a coach, right?
Yes.
We've been hearing that storyline since he was in college.
We have been.
Jalen Hurts can handle tough coaching, right?
No question.
Jalen Hurts is not a guy where, what you say, listening ears turned off. He does not do that when somebody gets in his face or when somebody is critical of him.
We're challenging him.
When we do the Days of Our Lives or All Our Eagles coming up at 8:30,
The young and the restless.
One of the weird reports that happened this weekend was from Mike Silver about how people were afraid to be critical of Jalen Hurts in-house. They basically coddled him. I don't know.
By the way, I don't
know what's real, what's not real.
I don't
right?
believe it. I don't believe it.
I don't think Jalen Hurts wants that. I think Jalen Hurts wants to be coached. And so if you're bringing in a guy that will get in the face, and I'm not saying get in the face like physical.
No.
But say, hey, you're doing this wrong. Let's do this. Instead of working as a collaboration, a tandem with Kevin and Nick. Maybe that's a good thing for Jalen Hurts.
Bobby Slowick would be mopped up, by the way. If he went physically with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah,
Bobby would get mopped up. But Bobby Slowick reportedly had a great rapport with other guys on the offense.
Right. So it was
but
just
C.J. Stroud was not enjoying it, and he was the face, like the young up-and-coming quarterback, who, by the way, had great success the first year.
Yeah.
And has been a declining asset since.
I thought he looked good yesterday.
Yeah, he looked great.
Oh,
with
my
those
gosh.
4 receptions. And a lot of people were trying to give him excuses about the offensive line. I saw some interceptions where you can't blame the offensive line for him. He was really bad yesterday.
Terrible.
All right, so you could text in your reaction to the offensive coordinator, tracker with all the interviews that are scheduled, being reported, or have already been conducted. Your thoughts, maybe some names that excite you, some names that freak you out. Feel free to chime in at 610-632-0975. By the way, one quick note of Slowick, because this is a guy that intrigues me, potential future head coach. Again, remember, he was at one point being interviewed for head coaching jobs. He was a defensive assistant when he first came into the league.
That is correct.
Defensive assistant with Washington for 3 seasons, then the defensive quality control coach for 3 seasons in San Francisco. And then he goes to the offensive side, which intrigues me. Who's the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers?
Shani.
Is he not considered one of the brightest minds when it comes to offenses in football? Maybe Shanahan saw something in him going, this guy knows his stuff when it comes to offense. Then he makes the jump over to the offense, and he has not gone back since.
I love it.
So that's pretty interesting. By the way, also born in Princeton, New Jersey.
Yes.
Shout out Princeton.
And his family is in our listening area.
How about that?
They are still all in the listening area.
Shout out to the Slowics.
Every single thing that three friends in the Houston media, every single one of them yesterday on the text chain, they all say, hire him. Like, he should be the guy. So this would be great.
There's your OC tracker.
This would be great.
All right, what do
By
we got?
the way, likes to throw like Kyle Shanahan. Desires throwing out of run sets, running out of throw sets. So there you go.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
Creative. I like it.
That sounds nice. What do we got on the text line, Connor?
Colby in Central PA checks in and says there's a chance that the Eagles get back to where they're supposed to be next year, but not without changes. And it's not just personnel, it's attitude. Watching the offense is like stand-up comedy night at the morgue. We need spark, we need energy, and a need for tranquility, mentally and emotionally.
It's amazing, right? The 49ers game, sorry to go back to the end of the season. Like, they needed spark, and what did they do? They came up with a trick play. The Eagles need spark, and it's let's run another hitch route. Like, that was all season. We watched 18 games of it where it was the same stuff every single week. And the only thing that they did well, and look, to their credit, they did very well at it, was the red zone. Now, did you see the tweets last week? Because now we're in silly season. Did you see the tweets? Do you remember Benjamin Albright? He does radio.
No, I know Benjamin Albright.
He does radio in Denver.
Right.
And covers the Broncos.
Sure.
And he was all over the Eagles a couple of years ago during the Wentz time. Like, he was right about everything. Every source every report that he had about the Eagles, he was right. I'm like, who the hell are you? You're in Denver, dude. Who are you getting this information from? He put out a tweet that the red zone was all Scott Loeffler. And it was not Kevin Patullo.
Okay, I don't necessarily. Well, I don't have any reason to know that that's the fact,
right.
But I wouldn't be shocked.
Apparently, a lot of the red zone calls were Loeffler's and not Patullo's. Or at least the play designs, I should say. Patullo called them, but the play designs were always Scott Loeffler's. And now you're going, what? So does Patullo get any credit for anything that happened this year?
Well, I sort of feel that would be demeaning, but especially when I don't know. So
right, I got you. All right, what do we got on the text? What else on the text line?
Ryan from Florida checks in on what we were just getting into with Bobby Slowick. And he says, Slowick is intriguing, but I have to wonder how he goes from turning down head coach interviews to stay in Houston to passing game coordinator in Miami just 2 years later. Feels like a backtrack for a guy. Not sure if I want him coming in here.
Well, the big difference with Slowick is, and as you just pointed out, there was a falling out with him and C.J. Stroud. I don't blame the Houston Texans for saying we got to back the quarterback, right? Like, we can't pick an OC over a quarterback. Name me the situation where that would ever go the other side.
The guy they drafted not the guy they drafted at the top of the draft.
Right. So they're going to stick with Stroud, and they had been winning football games, and so they move on from Slowick. And then he gets I don't know how he went from head coaching interviews to senior pass game coordinator.
By the way,
there
I
was
think
just
it's
no jobs
two.
open.
I think he had two interviews.
Okay.
So, I mean, it wasn't like a ton. So, and a lot of times guys get head coaching interviews just as part of the cycle, just to get experience. Sometimes it's through the network. Sometimes the head coach that they're working for will get them an interview. So we don't know what the situation is.
Yep.
How he gets those interviews.
All right, but give me a Phillies text. But before we get to that, because we're also talking about the Phillies, are you in Wake Me Up When October Comes mode? After last Friday took place where they don't get Bo Bichette, they decide to say, well, at least we have JT Realmuto. Let's sign him to 3 years. And this offseason has been very quiet. And it was after another first-round exit. You can text in at 610-632-0975. Phone line open as well. Albert Breer, in his article this morning on Sports Illustrated, on the Mike McDaniel front. McDaniel has made the rounds, and if I had to guess, he'll wind up as the offensive coordinator in the next week or so, and he's heard Tampa Bay could be a spot for him.
He doesn't think he's going to be a head coach. He's getting a second interview with the Browns.
Hold on. I've heard Tampa Bay could be a good spot for him, and that if he does a good job, could be set up as the successor to Todd Bowles. So does he do a year in Tampa, much like Todd Bowles with Bruce Arians? Remember, it was Todd Bowles.
Yeah, but he was already on that staff, Todd. He was on that staff for how long? I mean, I don't buy.
Yeah, you're fair.
Yeah, I don't
That's
buy
fair.
that. I don't buy. Like, why are you going to pass on a guaranteed like $40 million to go sign a deal for like a guaranteed $3 million?
Unless he just thinks it's not going to work in Cleveland.
Yeah.
So let me go to Tampa. I got Baker. I got Egbuka. I got the 2 running backs and Rashad White and Bucky Irving. I didn't even mention Mike Evans. I don't know what his future is.
I think Kevin Stefanski shows you're not getting blamed for what happens with the Browns.
No, I got you. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know anybody who's saying I got $40 million guaranteed here, one of 32 jobs, but I'm going to go take another job instead for $3 million.
But like I said, like 15 minutes ago, he does not scream Cleveland. He hates the cold. He hates it. He could live his life in his fancy
Well, then he
sports
wouldn't
car
come here.
and his aviators.
He wouldn't come here,
No, I
then.
know. I think the Tampa thing makes sense. All right,
and his capris.
what do we got in the Phillies? Give us one text. One text, Connor. It's all right, man. We got a minute and a half.
All right. Chris from Northeast Philly checks in, says, let me start by saying I have no idea why Dave Dombrowski is still employed. We're officially the MLB laughingstock of contract negotiations. The only way the Phillies can be defended is if we ever find out the inner workings of how the deal came together and they didn't have a chance to pivot when the Mets offered what
And
they
that
offered.
story will come out. It will eventually. We'll find out what happened. Why did they not have any secondary phone call after the Bichette stuff happened, or was it just straight up they didn't want to give any opt-outs and they said, no, that's it? That's going to be an interesting story for whenever somebody follows up with it. But Dave Dombrowski's been living off his resume for 3 years now. And it's pissing me off because it's giving me no hope. I told you, my excitement and confidence
He's crushing me.
hinged on Bichette, and they didn't get him. And now I look at the exact same team, just take a few names out and put a few other names in, and we're not talking about names of note. All right, coming up next. Speaking of the Phillies, John is wondering if one signing for the Phillies could help ease some of the pain. My answer already is no. We'll talk about it next. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Got to tell you that when you're thinking about Valentine's Day, and you should be thinking about it because you're around 4 weeks away, be thinking about Benari Jewelers because Benari, guys, if you're looking to do that Valentine's Day proposal, Valentine's Day will help you make a much better decision than LeBron made all those years ago. Look, Benari's got their annual bridal bash coming up, so mark your calendars. Now through February the 7th, Benari's bridal bash specials are amazing. 12 months financing on engagement rings and wedding bands, and something really, really exciting, a chance to win $1,000. So I've been telling you all along, Benari is the area's diamond experts, and here's a reminder why. They've got all the top designers, all the big names. She mentions things she hears on Instagram and Pinterest and everything. And from her friends, well, they've got every size, every style, every color, every setting. Benari's got you covered. So if she wants white gold, yellow gold, platinum, rose gold, whatever it is, during Benari's Bridal Bash, they're going to make sure that you're saving more. You get the great financing based on approval. It's Benari's Bridal Bash. You're going to absolutely love it because you're going to be saving. You're going to be getting her the ring she wants, and it's now through February the 7th at 2 spectacular locations, Exton and Newtown Square. I got to drop into Newtown Square or Exton, and I'm going to get my ring redone a little bit here too. So get in. Details are available for you at BenariJewelers.com. I want to get one of those wedding rings that's like the rubber or the gel for golf season. I'm tired of getting the scuffs. Look, it's awesome. Benari Jewelers got everything you're looking for. But if you're looking to get engaged, Benari Jewelers Bridal Bash is for you till February the 7th. So check it on out. And when you go to Benari Jewelers, tell them that John Kincade sent you in.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Down to the Final Four in the NFL. I'm Connor Thomas, and the NFL Championship games are set after the divisional round wrapped up yesterday. It's going to be an NFC West showdown as the Rams will travel to Seattle. In the AFC, the Broncos are hosting the Patriots, but they're going to have to do so without quarterback Bo Nix, who suffered a broken ankle in the divisional round against the Bills. Jarrett Stidham getting the start, we assume, in the championship game in the AFC. Meanwhile, the Eagles are continuing their search for their next offensive coordinator, currently in the interviewing process. We'll keep you updated on any news that breaks on that front. Phillies had a wild couple of days as Bo Bichette shockingly signed with the New York Mets on Friday. Phil's then pivoted, re-signing JT Realmuto to a 3-year, $45 million deal. Jason Stark broke down the mayhem Friday on Unfiltered.
I thought other teams thought the Phillies had positioned themselves as the clear favorite to sign Bo. I think they were. I think they thought they were. Just a whole sequence of events. And it's all a big never mind now.
Sixers host the Pacers tonight at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live here on the Fanatic. You can also hear after that game Miami taking on Indiana in the College National Championship. Flyers play the Golden Knights in Vegas, 8 p.m. puck drop. You can hear that game over on WMMR. And Bob Nightingale of USA Today talks to us about the Phillies, Bo Bichette, JT Remuto saga coming up at 8:05. This update is brought to you by Uber Eats. Philly, you hungry? Good thing Uber Eats has a great deal waiting for you at Chicky and Pete's. From now until February 15th, spend $30 and get 6 wings free on the app. Order now only on Uber Eats. Terms apply. See app for details. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the Best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic.
97.5 The Fanatic Philadelphia. More of Kincade and Salciunas coming your way now.
7 a.m. hours brought to you by the BetParks online casino and sportsbook app. Live bet sports on the BetParks app. Play all your favorite casino games. There's always another way to win on the BetParks online casino and sportsbook. Got to be 21 in Pennsylvania, Jersey, or Maryland. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
During the commercial breaks, I like to check our YouTube chat to see what people are saying about the topics of the day. So shout out to YouTube as always. We appreciate you. However you want to listen to the show, radio, obviously you can stream on your smart speakers, and of course you can watch the show on YouTube. Maybe a lot of you, as today's Martin Luther King Day, are home and maybe you want to check out on YouTube for the first time.
Probably a lot of people doing that.
Sometimes I get confused by what people listen to, John.
What do you mean?
So there's a lot of talk about the Phillies and what Dave Dombrowski is doing on the YouTube chat. MBD having fun with the I Like Our Club and wondering what they're going to do with Nick Castellanos because he's still here. Watch both Castellanos and Bone be back.
Well, no, I got to tell you, I wonder how that would work.
Oh, God.
Castellanos, no
I know.
way.
There's no shot. But I just they already, look, the Bone thing, they legitimately have to do something because this is the second straight year it was public that they were trying to trade him. All the reports were we're going to trade him to make the money work for Bo Bichette. Now they have to kind of fix that again.
And everybody knows that because they do everything publicly.
The worst kept secret possible.
No, it's easy. You go to Bohm and you say, we were going to trade Bryson. Then you go to Bryson and say, we were going to trade Bohm.
Yeah, no, that's
and
not
you
how
hope
it's
they
gonna
don't
work.
talk to each other.
But I see Philadelphia 9 on our YouTube chat. I'm glad Chunas has finally wised up and listened to me about how Dombrowski hasn't done a damn thing. I've been saying this for the past 2 seasons. He does nothing and lives off the past. Have I not been saying that?
Yeah, but the thing is, though, you totally last week bought in.
Yeah, I bought into the Bichette stuff.
And Connor and I were trying to tell you.
That's more Middleton's pockets, not Dave Dombrowski.
No, it wasn't Middleton. It was Dombrowski. Is that the same stuff was being – why do the Phillies – it's the same media mouthpieces nationally that share all the inside skinny on Dave Dombrowski's moves.
Yeah, because he's texting him.
Yes. The Mets don't do that.
Right.
Like the Mets just work in tandem. By the way, the Mets talked to Bichette's camp before the Phillies did.
It's amazing, isn't it?
But you know what they didn't do? They didn't run to, pss. Hey, let me tell you, guess what we're doing? We're talking to Bo Bichette. Because they know how to run an organization. That's not how you do things. You know what Howie Roseman doesn't do? He doesn't tell you what players he likes because he wants to trade them.
Now, hang on. I wouldn't look at the Mets as the golden rule for how to run an organization.
No, I'm going to, in this one, I will absolutely say they understood how to run this operation. They didn't tell you what they were doing.
By the way,
they got just like you did. They lost Kyle Tucker. They thought they had Kyle Tucker locked up. They had their owner tweeting
but you know
about
what's,
Kyle
you know what's
Tucker.
funny, though? Their backup plan to Kyle Tucker was Bo Bichette. The Phillies' backup plan to Bo Bichette was JT Realmuto.
And their backup plan was already in the works. They talked to Bo Bichette's camp before the Phillies. They absolutely laid in the weeds. And you know what they didn't do? Hey, tell everybody nationally that we're in on Bo Bichette and that we're going to get Bo Bichette. Because we need positive press.
Because their owner was actively tweeting about the other guy. They did it. They just didn't.
They had a backup plan, Connor.
And the Phillies did too. We just don't like the Phillies'
backup plan.
No,
freaking
but
sucks.
the backup plan was where you're bidding against nobody, which is also what I said last week.
3 years.
You're bidding against nobody.
3
understand.
years, $45 million.
But the funny thing is Connor, you understand. They don't. That's the big thing. They don't.
And there's a chance they overpay for somebody else. You believe there's a name that could ease some of the pain. Ease.
Yeah,
You're not saying solve.
No, but I think that right now a reunion with Harrison Bader would at least be like a shot of NyQuil. Do you ever feel the cold coming on?
Yes.
And Christina will leave on the counter some NyQuil. And she'll say, tonight, you seem like you're clearing your throat. You seem like you're a little stuffy. Here. Take some NyQuil. Get to bed a little bit earlier tonight. Take the NyQuil. Tomorrow morning, you'll feel a little better. I don't believe Harrison Bader solves a major problem. But I know that if Harrison Bader was part of this team, I would feel better about the worst outfield in baseball. And I looked at it yesterday, and I'll tell you, Major League Baseball Network, God bless it. because they were overlaying outfields. The Phillies arguably have the worst outfield in baseball.
Yeah, so I'll spin your NyQuil analogy and say, yeah, I'll just fall asleep.
So
that
you
move would do nothing for
So
me.
it does nothing for you. To me, it absolutely takes you where I go, okay, it's not solving a major problem, but it absolutely makes them a better club, as Bill would say.
The only thing that I like about it is that I know he can play center field every day.
Correct. And then
Justin Crawford's left field
every day.
Garcia's your right fielder every day. And then you have Brandon Marsh as a fourth outfielder and not batting fifth in the playoffs.
Correct. So to me, it solves a lot of issues. It gets Crawford. Crawford's in there. Crawford can drop down, totally drop down. It gives me a guy who Bader, I know, can be up in the lineup. He can be top six. So he can be a top six batter. Crawford doesn't have any pressure on him.
Here's what I hate about it.
To contribute anything.
Here's what I hate about it. You're once again going to overpay for half a season.
Well,
his best season was last year.
Okay, but what the market
and here?
The market is obviously not hot. The market is obvious.
Just like JT Realmuto's, where they signed him to a 3-year, $45 million deal.
So I don't trust that they're going to do the best deal possible. But the market is obviously not smoking hot for Harrison Bader. So you have to just say, okay, what are you willing to pay? What are you going to pay? What's it going to be? But again, I don't think it solves anything. But right now, you arguably have the worst. When Major League Baseball Network is having panel discussions, to the Phillies, who people are trying to trot out there to you, they're going to try to sell you that this is a World Series contender. They have the worst outfield, arguably, in baseball, and you can statistically have the argument and be in the discussion and easily make the argument.
I'm going to predict something now. We have Bob Nightingale of USA Today coming up at 8:05, who does a tremendous job covering Major League Baseball. I'm making a prediction now that he will at one point say, by the way, they still have a contender.
I'm going to ask Bob Nightingale. So don't steal the question, anybody. I'm going to ask Bob Nightingale, what team in baseball has a worse outfield?
Yeah. Chicago White Sox.
I bet you gives you 3 to 5.
Wow. Well, then that's not true. Because I just watched it this week. I just watched the panel of experts on MLB Network go down, and they're like,
you watch another person's opinion.
No
Maybe
way.
It's a different one.
No, I watched experts talk about it, and they literally were comparing them going, you can't make the case because the Phillies has no upside.
Well, no,
that's completely untrue. Completely untrue.
What's the upside?
You have a rookie starting in the
Crawford.
I understand.
Crawford's an everyday player.
Okay.
And if Adolis Garcia hits in this ballpark, that's upside.
There's no upside. Adolis Garcia is not a guy where the arrow is pointing up.
That doesn't mean there's not upside.
That's exactly what there's no upside means.
Maybe
he is not a guy. He is not a guy in baseball. He is a 34-year-old.
No, he's 30.
33-year-old Garcia.
I want to say
33, maybe. I thought 33.
He is 32.
32.
Okay.
His arrow is not pointing up. His arrow is not pointing up in his career. He is not a guy that is going, yes, he is ascending. His best years are ahead of him. That's what upside means. Best years are ahead of him.
Now, Crawford turned 33 in March.
Crawford, so he'll be a 33-year-old. Yes. So I was right. He does not have Crawford. We do not know what he is. It's like Andrew Painter. We don't know what he is. The Phillies thought so little last year they wouldn't even bring Crawford up to an outfield that wasn't any good.
And Max Kepler was playing.
You can't say your top position player prospect who's getting his first shot at Major League Baseball doesn't have upside.
We will find out if he does. Right now, that is a flat line.
No,
we don't know.
Upside is a potential projection of being better than you think.
But we don't know. He may be good. He may end up being.
No, he could suck.
He could be Mickey Moniak.
We don't
know what he is.
No,
so we can't say he's upside.
But you can't say there's no upside. There is potential upside.
No, there could be.
But there could be downside.
There could be downside too.
Yeah, they could suck. And I'm not thinking there's going to be much fun Phillies talk
Marsh is not an ascending player.
No,
Castellanos is back.
He's
on your depth chart. He's on your depth chart right now.
I guarantee you, propeller hat. He's gone. He's either traded or released. There's a 0% chance he's on this roster.
Yeah, he's not playing next year.
This is how bad this offseason's been.
By the way, he's been your best playoff performer over the last couple of years.
I agree with you.
And it's the guy that they desperately want to get rid of. It's unbelievable.
It's unreal.
All right, coming up next, we'll check our text line. Eagles and Phillies on the table. And, of course, it's also today's headlines with Connor Thomas. That comes your way next. Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
let's say you're not feeling your best and you're going to go to the doctor, right? You're going to go get checked out at the doctor. Should you get a cancer diagnosis, I implore you to check out my friends at the Consultants in Medical Oncology and Hematology. I say friends when I really should say family, because Dr. John Sprandio Jr. gave me my life back, him and the entire practice. And when I say the entire practice, I talk about the people at the front desk. I talk about the great nursing staff. I talk about Dr. Sprandio and his entire team. They're amazing. They've got 3 great locations all across the area. They work with hospitals and healthcare systems across the tri-state area, and since they're an independent practice, they're not tied to just one hospital system. So if you've had abnormal test results and you've gotten a cancer diagnosis, get clarity and, more importantly, take control. The Consultants in Medical Oncology and Hematology came up with a protocol to save my life. And I can tell you, they held my hand, walked me through it, and I'm here today celebrating life because of them. Take the first step with CMOH. They're my friends. They're my family. CMOH.org. And you can count on me, too. Reach out to me. I'll tell you how great they are. CMOH.org.
Sports Talk, 97.5 The Fanatic.
It is an unfortunate football Monday here in the Philadelphia area, presented to us by our friends at the local Bryant Home Comfort Teams at NoPayBryant.com to keep your HVAC in the starting lineup. Hit me with a text message. Then we got today's headlines. But in between, I have to ask a question that will open up another conversation for the people to chime in about. But what do you got on the text line?
All right, DJ Milk D checks in. So, talking about our Eagles topic, and he says, good morning. It's hard not to believe the talent on the field will get the Eagles back to where they need to be, but we must get an offensive coordinator who's qualified. I hope it's not Dable. I want somebody who's not affiliated with Jalen and Nick.
Look,
Interesting.
I would take Dable in a heartbeat, considering what I dealt with this year. There's a lot of candidates I would take in a heartbeat.
I'll take a guy who used to be an NFL head coach because I think that helps Nick. I think a guy who used to be an NFL head coach isn't going to panic, and I think that he's a guy who can help he has the respect of Jalen.
Right, and we've talked about this before. Even underneath the offensive coordinator, there are guys that just aren't good head coaches or aren't good offensive coordinators. Kevin Patullo could be a great whatever for some team. Brian Dable might just not be a head coach.
He might not be a head coach.
I saw that guy be a maniac trying to pull Jackson Dart out of the blue tent when he was getting his head evaluated.
He's panicking.
Like, he might not be a good head coach, but he might be a good offensive coordinator.
He very well may have just said, I'm putting my own needs ahead of my players, and that's a bad look.
Yeah.
It's a bad look.
Absolutely. All right. Another topic to open up for the people before we get to today's headlines. Why do people almost feel better that the Niners lost?
I don't get it.
I see a lot of it on social media. I get it. Like, the team that beat you, you're happy that they lost, but I expected them to lose. They were 7-point dogs.
We should have beaten them. We should have beaten them. To me, the fact they lost 41-6 makes me feel worse about the Eagles.
That's what I said. I'm more pissed off this morning because of it.
It makes me feel worse about the Eagles.
Yeah.
Because to me, you got beat by a team that had nobody. And then they just went and got trounced 41-6. And you're like, you didn't even put up a fight.
I see Eagles fans trying to dunk on Niners fans on social media.
What are you doing? You lost.
I know Fred Warner and both he and Bryce Huff said some stuff about Philadelphia, and now it's like, what are you saying now? It's like, well, they beat you. They beat the Eagles, period. Well, Fred Warner didn't, but you get what I'm saying.
My rule is I can spike the football on anybody my team beat.
Yeah.
Or lower down the food chain. When my team gets beaten, then I'm not spiking the football on that team.
Yeah, I don't get that, but people do it, and I'm curious why.
I don't get it.
Tell us why. 610-632-0975. Why do you feel the need to, it's one thing to be happy that they lost. I'm fine with that. But to, go online and, start taking shots at Niners fans, they beat you. The 49ers won. There's no, that does not make me feel any better. It makes me feel worse. All right, it's time now for today's headlines with Connor Thomas.
Today's headlines with the Connor Thomas.
For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. They also bring you today's headlines. If you need them, remember the name Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com. You guys already kind of mentioned this, but we haven't really gotten into it. Kevin Stefanski hired over the weekend. He is now the new head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. I know he's a name you guys were interested in as potential OC, but
I didn't think it was going to happen at all.
Head coaching job. What's your reaction?
Good hire for them.
I'm excited for I think Matt and him together will work because you got a Delco guy and a Chester County guy working together. And knowing that organization, I think that intimately, I think the fact that Matt chose somebody from Philly, chose a guy that he can really communicate with well. Matt Ryan is very much a Philly guy. He is very much, he is a Philly guy. And I think that him and will get along really well.
Atlanta could be in the playoffs next year.
Oh, I think they have a great chance to win that division next year.
It's just what the hell do they do at quarterback is the major question, right? Or do they try it with Penix again? Do they go with the Cousins route? I don't know what that.
No, Cousins. I think they already
think it's done.
I think Matt had already sort of alluded to the fact is he's going to be moved on.
So do they make a trade for somebody?
Ryan, player president.
Yeah, right. No? Exactly. Why not?
Couldn't be worse.
Bringing Phillip Rivers. Why not? He's still playing.
He's playing for Denver this week.
It's just, I think they got bones out there. They have some good players on defense. You obviously know some of the explosive players on offense. their quarterback situation was a disaster and Raheem Morris wasn't good enough. I think that was a tremendous hire by whoever hired Stefanski. I would have said tremendous hire.
I would have liked it too.
And it's guaranteed to work because Skip Bayless immediately tweeted, overrated. He's got bad hire.
It's
awful move. So that's a guarantee that'll work out. Someone who's not working out as a head coach. I know you guys are way caught up on Georgetown basketball.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I really haven't paid a lot of attention.
Don't worry. There's no reason to. They haven't been good. And head coach Ed Cooley is on the hot seat because they have not been winning. But he had some perspective. Maybe in our bad stretch in Philadelphia, we need to start thinking about sports this way.
It's a lot worse happening than Georgetown losing a basketball game around the world, around our city, around our community. But my appreciation and gratitude to have an attempt to coach these young men to be better at what we do is an unbelievable honor. Yeah, we lost. You know what we are? We're blessed. We're blessed to be 9-9. We're blessed to be 1-6 in the league.
Did he really trot that out?
I heard this last week.
I did not hear this.
Yeah, I heard it last week.
He really trotted out like there's worse things going on.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I get the point he's trying to make, but you can't then end out that clip with 1-6.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that's incredible.
Come on, man.
I don't know.
Goodbye.
Yeah, like that's that moment. I go, you got too much on your mind. You're out,
Dude, you got to go. You got to go.
If this is what you think is
at the end of the season, he's gone. That would be fireable offense. You're gone.
Yeah, if you think this is a rallying, is that a rallying cry? Is he going to try to like? Is that his message to his players?
I don't even know what the goal is there.
Like think about it. That was during a press conference. What is he saying behind closed doors? Is he saying it's all right, guys? At least we're not dealing with off the court issues.
Like what is going on?
Yeah,
that's incredible.
But yeah, Philadelphia sports. Hey, there's a lot worse going on in the world than the Sixers collapsing, Flyers collapsing,
there's
Eagles
disease.
losing, Phillies losing everybody.
Yeah, there is.
All right, we'll round out with this a little bit. Did you see Nick Foles' activeness on social media over the weekend?
I did.
Oh, did you not look at the show sheet?
Are we going to get into the Nick Foles?
Yeah,
I knew we were going to talk about the Broncos
different
game.
audiences. Go ahead,
That's
tell
all
us.
right. No, that's all right.
Because the Broncos are going to be without Bo Nix this weekend. It could be Jarrett Stidham starting for them at quarterback unless they make some weird Hail Mary move. And Nick Foles put out a nice tweet that ended with a positive note going into the game versus the Patriots is that they struggle against backup quarterbacks in championship-type games.
Yeah, right, it was a great tweet.
Still fair for Nick Foles to be taking shots like that?
Why not?
He can do
absolutely,
the rest
He's
of
the
his
Super
life.
Bowl champ, and it was tongue-in-cheek.
Yeah.
I mean, that was tongue-in-cheek. Yeah,
I think so, too.
Yeah, I like it. And I think Nick Foles has shown so much more personality as a
he absolutely
as
has.
a retired athlete than he ever did as an athlete.
Publicly. Because remember, they all loved him in the locker room.
Yeah.
They loved him.
No. I understand.
That's
but
what got it, the Wentz.
I think
Yeah,
that
how it all
he
started.
was for being a career backup. I guess he didn't. I guess he just sort of felt like he didn't. Would feel the need to do that.
All right, I'm glad I put all this time in the show sheet.
I just saw Broncos
Thanks.
Pats. I didn't see
Yeah, and then it
I didn't
says
see
right
the Nick
underneath
Foles
it,
tweet.
Nick Foles tweet.
I'm working on reading. It's a New Year's resolution.
All right, it's all right.
We're going to help you with the big words, Connor. I already
You
told
may have
that.
showed up to work today, but you're taking the day off. Happy Martin Luther King Day, everybody. It's all right, Connor. Coming
There
up
you go.
next, what the hell happened on Friday? Do they really think JT Realmuto to 3 years was a good idea? Will Bob Nightingale be the first person to tell us, but they're still contenders? Probably. He joins us coming up next. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Conference championships confirmed. I'm Connor Thomas, and the NFL championship games are all set after the divisional round ended this weekend. It's going to be an NFC West showdown. Rams traveling to Seattle. And in the AFC, the Broncos will host the Patriots. But like we were just talking about, they're going to have to do so without Bo Nix, who suffered a broken ankle in the divisional round. Wild stuff for the AFC Championship game. Meanwhile, the Eagles are continuing their search for their next offensive coordinator. We'll keep you updated on any news that breaks on that front. Phillies had a wild couple of days. Thought they had Bo Bichette. Mets swoop in, sign him. Then the Phillies pivoted to signing JT Realmuto back, a 3-year, $45 million deal. Jason Stark joined Unfiltered on Friday. He talked about the offseason. Not great reviews.
I don't think there's a big splash coming. I think the word for this winter that I would use is disappointing, but they're in a funny spot where they're way over budget and they think they're better than Philadelphia thinks they are.
We'll talk to Bob Nightingale of USA Today coming up at 8:05 for his thoughts on that. Sixers host the Pacers tonight at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live here on the Fanatic. After that concludes Miami, Indiana, national championship game. You can hear live here. Flyers play the Golden Knights in Vegas, 8 p.m. puck drop. You can hear that game over on WMMR. This update is brought to you by Aleve. Sometimes weather and body pain can slow you down, but don't let the pain stop you. With just one pill, Aleve provides up to 12 hours of pain relief so you can keep moving. Use as directed. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
College guy to produce. Charity comes in many forms. Kincade Salciunas is back from the break. I wonder what they're going to get into.
Or to read the show sheet. It is Kincade Salciunas here on 97.5 The Fanatic on this Football Monday, presented to us by our friends at the local Bryant Home Comfort Team. Visit nopaybryant.com to keep your HVAC in the starting lineup. The NFC Championship and AFC Championship games will be taking place this upcoming weekend. We know that the Rams will be traveling to Seattle, so a divisional matchup in the NFC Championship game between the Rams and Seahawks, and the Broncos with the overtime thriller beating the Bills Saturday, and they'll be traveling to New England. Sorry, no,
they're hosting. They're the ones
hosting. They're the one seed hosting.
Did you see the Nick Foles tweet?
The New England Patriots. Bo Nix, that was crazy. So, in case people don't know, you mentioned the Nick Foles tweet. Bo Nix gets hurt on the second to last play of the game. That sucks.
It's terrible for him. I feel so bad for him.
And it's crazy because the second to, like, they were in field goal range, but you're trying to, look, you're not going to kick a long field goal to try to win in overtime when you have time on your hands. So they were trying to get closer, and then he fractures a bone.
It's so sad.
And now he's getting surgery tomorrow already. They're getting to it right away so that he's available for next season. And so Jared Stidham will be the starting quarterback for the Broncos.
By the way, both of them with
AFC
the Auburn
game.
connections.
Yeah, how about
the two
that?
of them.
They also signed Ben DiNucci, by the way.
Oh, that's the difference maker.
To be the backup. That's a shame.
Ben DiNucci.
I got to ask, like, if
He gets to an NFC title game before Dak Prescott.
How about that? If you're a Broncos fan, we're going to speak to Bob Nightingale coming up at 8:05. Bob Nightingale, tremendous job, covers Major League Baseball, has been for a long time for USA Today. We're going to try to get to the bottom of what the hell happened on Friday between the Phillies and Bo Bichette, and then the Phillies quickly signing JT Realmuto, thinking that may ease the pain for Phillies fans.
It didn't.
If anything, it made it even worse. If you're a Broncos fan, what is your reaction Saturday night? Like that emotion of you just won an overtime thriller to the team that a lot of people before the season started had going to the Super Bowl in Buffalo. And then once Kansas City got eliminated, it was like, wow, this is Josh Allen and Buffalo's year to get there. You go to overtime, you get the win, and then Sean Payton goes to the podium and breaks the news.
Horrible news.
Like, I don't even know how I would react.
Well,
Yeah, you do. We did it. It wasn't that point, but we did it in 2017.
This is before the AFC Championship game, man. Like
it wasn't that you didn't have your quarterback walk off the field and then you're celebrating a win and then they go into a press conference and say, oh, by the way, your quarterback's done for the year.
I knew Wentz's leg was busted. I saw it happen. And
we knew that was when he walked off, you knew there was something major.
Yeah.
And then we had to wait. Once you had to wait overnight, we knew it was something bad.
Right. And look, I did not think they were going to win the Super Bowl with Nick Foles. Right. I didn't think they'd win. If they played the Rams in round one, I didn't think they would lose their first or win their second round matchup.
I believe it all mattered the path.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
And if the path was
caught luck.
And if
they caught luck.
Oh my gosh, did they catch?
They
luck.
lose to the Rams. They lose to the Saints.
I think they lose to the Rams. They lose to the Saints.
They beat the Falcons. They beat the Vikings.
Yep.
Right. And then everything went.
Everything
and it
fell
was
beautifully
freaking amazing.
for them.
But you knew Wentz was out. You're literally. I gotta check it. You know what we do when the Eagles game's over? Let's go to NBC Sports Philadelphia. Right. Let's watch Jaws and let's watch Barkan and let's watch Seth and let's see what Nick Sirianni's gonna say. And it's Jalen fractured his foot. Like that's how the press conference opened.
How many people headed to the parking lot,
Not knowing.
partying and everything like that, and got the call? Dude, check your phone.
Yeah, and they probably thought it was fake. It's unbelievable,
It's
man.
AI. Oh my gosh, it's so bad.
I couldn't imagine how.
No, I feel for the young man too.
Oh yeah,
because he does just enough. He does just enough.
Yeah.
And to me though, he's got brass balls. And I admire that. I admire the style of play. I admire the way this coach continues to let him take his shot. I like it. I like it.
All right, we're going to be joined momentarily by Bob Nightingale of USA Today. Here's what we have been talking about so far this morning. Speaking of football, we opened up the show asking you, do you believe the Eagles can quickly get back to being true contenders? We all on the show said yes. Curious to why you think so. To me, it's just hiring a competent offensive coordinator. I understand the offensive line has to get right, and I understand there are some things that you got to figure out this A.J. Brown situation. If you guys missed it, there was a report over the weekend that he's been asking for trades all the way back to week 3. So for those of you who wanted to ignore the drama, stop talking about it. Stop talking about it. It became a problem, clearly, and you saw it happen on the field. You saw his emotions lead to the field by giving up on plays way too many times. Way too many times. And then the drops was inexcusable. Do you believe they can quickly get back? And your reaction to what took place Friday for the Phillies not landing Bo Bichette. JT Realmuto gets the 3-year deal, which did not ease anybody's pain.
Yes.
Our question for you, will you be a Wake Me Up When October Come fan this year? And even John Kincade won't hate you for it.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to rip you for it.
I'm proud of you.
No, I'm not going to rip anybody for it unless there are moves that come down that go, wow.
Sure.
Now I'm excited.
Which
I don't expect.
I don't expect either.
Unless somebody nudges Dave awake.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
Neither do I.
All right, this man has been doing such a tremendous job for a long time covering Major League Baseball, and he's been doing it for a while with USA Today. That's Bob Nightingale. Bob, good morning. How are we today?
Yeah, doing good. How about you guys?
Good, Bob.
We're doing good personally, but when it comes to the Phillies, not so great. So we're trying to get to the bottom of what the hell happened on Friday. Let's start with Bichette before we transition to JT Realmuto. Everybody thought Bo was coming to Philly, and then, clock struck midnight, and we found out what the real story was. He's going to New York. What took place between the Phillies and Bichette and the Mets and Bichette?
Well, the Phillies had the Zoom call, and everything went well. Everybody's optimistic. The Phillies were genuinely thinking that, hey, Bichette wants to come there. Bichette thought, okay, the Phillies badly want me. And so they started talking and started negotiating in the next few days. On Thursday, they told the Phillies, well, will you be willing to come raise your offer to 7 years at $200 million? Phillies said, okay, we'll do it. They figured all was left is, dot some I's, cross some T's. It's a done deal. Then the Mets, once they lost Tucker, they completely, pivoted and said, okay, how about taking this, Bichette, and got the deal done. So pretty much just the Mets came in and stole Bichette right from underneath them.
But Bob, it wasn't their first conversation with Bichette, the Mets. So they had obviously had some contact with him before that date. And I wonder, why do the Phillies have to negotiate everything and show their interest and do everything that they do so publicly compared to other organizations that seem to do things much more privately?
Well, the Mets made they were very public in their desire for Tucker. They pretty much threw that out there. They were going to offer, $200 million here, then raise it to $220. So
yeah, I'm talking about their interest in Bichette as their backup plan, which was obviously kept quiet.
Yeah, that was, and so I think just because the Zoom call, and I think that was made public by the agents. They want people to know that the Phillies are in there. You kind of maybe scare some other teams as well. So I think it was more the agency that made it more public than the Phillies did for sure.
Bob Nightingale joined us here on Kincade and Salciunas. So then after the Phillies don't land Bo Bichette, they signed JT Realmuto to a 3-year, $45 million contract. Can you tell us what the JT Realmuto market was and if they actually had to go 3 years with the 35-year-old catcher?
He had some other team involved. I don't know whether, Boston had shown some interest. There's certainly Tampa Bay raised.
Oh, Bob,
We lost Bob.
Bob, you there?
We lost Bob.
All right, we're going to put Bob on hold, and Connor will try to figure that out. So he started saying that the Boston Red Sox and the Tampa Bay Rays were showing interest. Joe the Cynic, one of our great
45 million?
texters and YouTubers,
No.
he said that he read somewhere that Tampa was 1 year, $12 million. And
Yes.
if I'm JT Realmuto, I'm not taking a 1 year deal.
Yeah, the Tampa media was saying 1 year for JT Realmuto, and Boston media said they weren't going to go more than 2. Like, I don't get it.
Right. So, I just wonder what took place. Like, why did they have to go 3 years? And I understand there's love for JT Realmuto on that team. Right, I understand that. And the pitching staff absolutely loves JT Realmuto. I get that. But enough for a 3-year contract, that's something that I absolutely don't understand. And I'm curious, when we get Bob back, what are people saying about this baseball team? I know, and again, I made the prediction earlier, that he will probably say they're still viewed as contenders. The Phillies will view themselves as contenders. One clip that we didn't get to earlier in the show, Jason Stark was on with Unfiltered, and he talked about how not only do the Phillies view themselves as true contenders, listen to what Jason Stark had to say about a conversation he had with Dave Roberts.
They won 96 games last year. I also heard you guys say earlier that they weren't good enough to beat the Dodgers last year. I should mention this. You know who doesn't think that? The Dodgers. I was around them a lot in October. I've even had a long talk with Dave Roberts at the winter meetings where he was telling me how they felt like they were lucky to beat the Phillies. They couldn't score against them, and it took a couple of crazy plays that nobody focuses on now for them to win. So a lot of ways to look at this. The Phillies are trying to take the beer mug half full way. I would say that listening to your show, it doesn't seem like the fan base is quite taking it that way.
They absolutely aren't. And so we'll get Bob's thoughts on that coming up in a little bit. He's back with us. So, Bob, you were saying JT Realmuto's market, you mentioned Boston and Tampa, and then you dropped off.
Yeah, but JT had pretty much said, hey, I'm not coming back unless I get a 3-year deal. And the Phillies had made it very clear that, hey, if they get Bichette, they can't afford Realmuto in the budget. And so once that fell through, they said, you know what, we'll just bring him back. So I think that was the only case. They agreed to the deal. 3 years, 45, to make extra $5 million a year. And they did that. They did that quickly. So Realmuto is not a Philly. If they signed Bichette, there was no way they're doing both.
So he was going to walk away and take like a 1-year deal in Tampa, as it's being reported, or go someplace else just out of spite? I'm playing poker with that, Bob. I am not going to be held hostage for a $45 million deal for a guy who's been a declining asset for 4 seasons.
Well, there just wasn't anything else out there. I mean, it was only going to be a drop-off. Whoever got to replace Realmuto, he's still beloved by the pitching staff, coaches love him, manager, on and on. So, yeah, I mean, they just started to catch up with him, but he was still so much better than anything else out there.
So, Bob, I got to ask, how much of a mess do they have to clean up right now? Because you just mentioned, if they sign Bo Bichette, JT Realmuto is not a Philly. If they sign Bo Bichette, Alec Boehm, odds are he's not a Philly because they would have had to have traded him to make the money work. So Alec Boehm, who has now been out there publicly, they've been trying to trade him for like 2 years. Realmuto, what you're telling us they wouldn't have gotten back. Do they have to clean up messes? Like, how does that go down between front office and these individual players?
Just a little bit. I don't think much. I mean, remember, it wasn't a pretty negotiations when Realmuto came back the first time. That got a little ugly. And Alec Boehm, he's going to be a free agent in a year. Behooves him to have a monster year. So I'm sure he's thinking, well, I'm not that desirable, or else letting other teams come after me, much harder, this off season and last off season. So it's easy to fix, and it's a good clubhouse. They get, obviously Kyle Schwarber back. So, they're still the best team in the division. They're still the team to beat.
Bob, how does it benefit the Phillies to make it so public that, no, we will not do any opt-outs in our contracts, which has been reported by numerous Major League Baseball insiders? How does that benefit them when you're talking about trying to go up against and go against other clubs to get the biggest names in baseball to want to sign here?
Well, I just think you're going to throw that kind of money out there. You want to got to stay, and I think Bryce Harper kind of set the tone. Like, if he's not doing it, why should anybody else?
And he's tried to get a renegotiation now multiple times on the long-term contract that he signed. So he didn't sign it in good faith.
Well, he was one who said he wanted it that way. So, they're not going to, change it now. Could they add years onto it later on? That's possible. But, if you're the Mets, Bo Bichette could leave after 1 year. So is that a wise investment to give $47 million to Bo Bichette? I don't think so.
Bob Nightingale of USA Today joining us here on Kincade Salciunas. So I knew this was going to come up. You mentioned how they're still the team to beat in the NL East. I'm curious how you look at them and how teams around Major League Baseball view the Phillies, because we're very close to it, and we've watched them take a step back ever since they got to the World Series in 2022. There was very little faith going into last season, and I can tell you, speaking for a lot of Phillies fans, there will be even less faith going into this season because they're running it back yet again. So how do you view the Philadelphia Phillies, and how do people around baseball that you talk to view the Phillies?
I think people on the baseball, including myself, said it's still a great team. It's still a team that should win over 90 games. If Zach Wheeler comes back and it's the same Zach Wheeler, why not? If Zach Wheeler was healthy at the end of the regular season last year, could they beat the Dodgers? Sure. If it wasn't for that throwing there, they might have forced a Game 5 and then, right there back in Philadelphia and knocked off the Dodgers. So really the only disappointment in the Phillies has just been the postseason. It hasn't been the regular season, and there's still been a power.
They had one of the worst outfields in baseball last year, and the outfield looks worse now, considering one of their most productive players whether they like him or not, is going to be gone, and Nick Castellanos. How can they be a World Series contender trotting out the outfield that they currently have today, or do you see moves coming to improve that lot?
Yeah, I mean, they can certainly improve it. We'll see if Garcia bounces back. I mean, he was stat a couple of years ago. We'll see what the Crawford kid can do. And, like they've always say, hey, you spend the first of the season kind of valuing what you have. And then then if you need to make some moves, you make it. So, I mean, they've always been aggressive at the trade deadline. So if they need some help, they can do it. It's a whole lot easier to get some outfielders that will help you at the trade deadline than it is, stud starting pitching.
Bob, Dave Dombrowski has been under fire in recent years here in Philadelphia, and more people are obviously getting upset. So I'm curious, how do you view the job that Dave Dombrowski has done ever since he came to Philadelphia as the president of baseball operations?
I think he's done a great job. I mean, the guy's going to the Hall of Fame. He's got that team, back on track, making the playoffs year after year. Like I said, the only disappointment is the postseason, and those things can happen. I mean, look at the Buffalo Bills. I mean, they're still been a great regular season team, just disappointment in the postseason. So now, come October, if there's no additions or something like that, I think Phillies fans hold their breath like, can something change here? Can we catch a break? I mean, they never showed lots of Diamondbacks that year when the Diamondbacks went to the World Series. Like I said, they could easily have beaten the Dodgers. And I think if they had Zach Wheeler, if Wheeler hadn't got, had the injury, then I think they beat the Dodgers.
The thing is, it's bad base running, it's bad situational defense, it's things like that the pitching's always there. It's the fundamentals and everything that kills this team in the postseason, and that never seems to improve, Bob. It never seems to be something that the Phillies get better at. It's not about them. Doesn't seem like catching a break. It's more that they don't improve on the things that they're bad at year after year. I think that's where the frustration comes here locally.
Well, I mean, certainly offensively in the postseason, that's been the big thing. Is like, not putting the ball in play, striking out, way too much, and just not. Routing teams, not just out-slugging teams. I think that's been the problem. I mean, look at that Game 4 against the Dodgers, and they played very well. They just couldn't hit in the clutch, and it cost them.
Bob, we appreciate the time, man. I know we'll be bugging again down the road. Hopefully the Phillies make some move of note because if you can't tell by speaking to John and I, we're speaking for a lot of Phillies fans. It's a rough time in the city right now trying to find ways to get excited for this ball club.
Yeah, I remember that the Bichette thing was short-lived. It wasn't like they were after Bichette the entire winter. It was like got our base hopes up. If they never jumped the Bichette sweepstakes, I think people would have been more optimistic.
Yep. Well, I don't think that's true either, but because we're still trying to figure out if they're going to run it back for the fifth straight time. Bob, we appreciate the time. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right. Take care, guys. Thanks.
There he is, Bob Nightingale. That is a prime example of national media member that's not living in Philadelphia. And look, it's hard. Like, he doesn't understand the emotions that Phillies fans are feeling. If the Bo Bichette news never happened, people are still not excited going into this season.
I so respect Bob Nightingale's career.
Yeah, me too.
And everything like that. That is, in the history of Kincade and Salciunas, the most frustrating interview we've ever conducted.
Why do you say that?
Because I'm always trying to be respectful. I found that borderline ridiculous. Borderline ridiculous answers.
We predicted
I
it.
understand.
People look at this baseball team from outside of Philadelphia as a true contender.
The answers were borderline ridiculous to every single question that I asked. It was mind-boggling to me. And to me, there was an excuse offered every single time for things that are honestly inexcusable.
Well, because Dave Dombrowski views it that way too. Trey Turner makes one throw.
Yep.
I think
that is and again, Bob Nightingale is a fantastic writer.
No, he's tremendous.
That to me is the most frustrating interview that we've conducted in the history of this show.
There's also a look at what they've done in the regular season.
And I don't want to hear about that. And nobody here does either.
Yeah, I can't hear it's just been the playoffs that's a problem. Yeah,
and they do the same crap every year in the playoffs. The same things beat them every year in the playoffs. Little things that kill them in the regular season, kill them in the playoffs, and they're ignored during the regular season.
But you
Just
knew,
frustrating.
look, he won't be the last national person that says the Phillies are a good baseball
You
team.
people should be really appreciative of all those wins.
Watch out for the Braves. Coming up next, just saying, drama. What a weekend for the Philadelphia Eagles. We'll recap the latest episode of All My Eagles. Coming up next, Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The NFL getting down near the end. I'm Connor Thomas, and the NFL championship games are set after the divisional round wrapped up yesterday. It's going to be an NFC West showdown as the Rams travel to Seattle on the NFC side, and in the AFC, Broncos are hosting the Patriots, but they're going to have to do so without Bo Nix, who suffered a broken ankle in the divisional round win over the Bills. Meanwhile, the Eagles are continuing their search for their next OC. We'll keep you updated on any news that breaks on that front as they're in the interviewing process. Phillies, as we were just talking to Bob Nightingale about, had a wild couple of days. Bo Bichette shockingly signing with the Mets. Phil's then pivoting to re-signing JT Realmuto to a 3-year, $45 million deal. Jason Stark joined Unfiltered on Friday, and he talked about, well, the crazy situation on Friday.
I thought other teams thought the Phillies had positioned themselves as the clear favorite to sign Bo. I think they were. I think they thought they were. Just a whole sequence of events. And it's all a big never mind now.
Sixers host the Pacers tonight at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live here on The Fanatic. You can also hear Miami taking on Indiana in the national championship game when the Sixers wrap up. Flyers play the Golden Knights in Vegas, an 8 p.m. puck drop. You can hear that over on WMMR. This update is brought to you by NJM Insurance. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
hard time, but they're really not that bad, at least most of the time. Now let's listen to more Kincade and Salciunas before I change my mind.
All right, before we get to all my Eagles, Young and the Restless, whatever you want to call them, the Eagles drama that took place over the weekend, because there was a lot of it.
Lots of it.
Dave Dombrowski has chimed in on the YouTube chat under his burner account, Chuck Baylor. Of course, Andrew and John are being negative about a team that won 96 games last year.
Yeah.
Both of these guys are totally annoying and wrong, by the way. Andrew is especially annoying.
Why Andrew especially annoying?
Well, because I've been saying it for 2.5 years now that Dave Dombrowski has been living off of his resume.
I mean, it's terrible.
Chuck, I get it. You're a big Phillies fan and all that kind of stuff.
That's fine. That's great.
So am I. And that's
we
why
both are.
And that's why I'm so upset.
I switched out the phone case this weekend to just say,
good work, buddy.
Okay, Eagles are done.
Yeah, you got
Let's
go
go to the Phillies.
phone. That's good.
Let's go. Let's see what happens.
The Phillies have made me miserable.
They broke me on Friday.
They're going to win 90 games. I tweeted it out over the weekend. They're going to win 90 games, and they'll be happy about that.
And they're going to brag about it in another playoff. And that's if they win 90. I'm telling you, if they win 90.
Yeah, look, there's a chance they don't. But
they have not replaced Ranger Suarez's contributions. Ranger Suarez is missing from this rotation.
Yeah.
Who's replacing that contribution?
Well, they're going to bet on Painter.
Okay,
We'll see.
so Andrew Painter, they're going to tell you, steps in from day one and gives you everything that Ranger Suarez has. Okay, so let's get into that level of fantasy land. Hey, if it's better, I'll love it.
Yeah.
It'd be awesome. But that's fantasy land to project.
We haven't seen it yet.
Then he couldn't get guys out of AAA. Then what are you going to do 2 months without Zach Wheeler's contribution?
You're going to throw Taijuan Walker?
Taijuan Walker's already being counted on to be one of your five.
No.
You're going to need him.
No, Painter, Luzardo, Nola, Sanchez, and then it would be Walker until you get Wheeler back.
And what's Nola giving you?
Yeah,
God only knows.
That's what I'm saying. It's like this team right now is not the pitching is not very good. Now, I will say this: I like the bullpen better.
Yeah,
because you have a
Keller's
closer.
a great move.
You have a closer all year.
Yep.
And I think you've improved by getting rid of Strom.
And as long as Alvarado doesn't try to, do.
Well, I didn't, I mean,
So-
Joe Zempic coming back, I wasn't really a big fan of. But,
Quick question for Chuck, because then I saw somebody respond, Greg, saying, I agree with Nightingale that they're still contenders. My question.
Well, when you have the third highest payroll in baseball,
Right, they
you
should be.
better be a freaking contender. What are we celebrating?
I'm going to ask what I believe is a simple question for people that are confident to answer. All right? And look, they're going to. I still think they win around 90 games and they get to the playoffs. So 610-632-0975 is the number to climb in with this question. What is it about this team that you like?
I want to hear this.
That you go, look, this team is good.
Yeah, I want to hear it. I want to hear about the starting pitching. I want to hear about the outfield.
And
I want to hear about all these things that you're optimistic about.
I'll spoil some of the answers. They feel good about Kyle Schwarber. I bet you somebody will say, I expect a bounce back from Bryce Harper.
Are Kyle Schwarber's best years ahead of him?
Probably not. Now, if he's still hitting around 45 home runs, you're
that's
happy
great.
with that.
He had a career year last year.
Yeah.
That is the outlandish outlier, which, by the way, I believe came because they took him out of leadoff. So I expect still it's going to be a really, really good year.
Yeah, I think
Schwarber
has another good year.
I think he has a really, really good year. I don't think he matches last year. I would put I'll put the propeller hat on it. He doesn't match last year.
Okay.
And so I'll put that on it. He will not match last year's production numbers. So if we're talking home runs, runs batted in are the two numbers. Home runs, RBIs. Combine those two numbers. The Bryce Harper, are Bryce Harper's best years ahead of him? No. Are Trey Turner's best years ahead of him? No.
You hope that he hits around 300 again, Turner, and you hope that Harper looks more like himself this
We hope so.
Season. Yeah,
we hope so, but you're not. You haven't been seeing it.
And then
are JT Remo's best years ahead of him?
Right. That's where I get hung up. Like, think about the lineup again. You don't have to give me order like 1 through 9. Behind the dish is a declining offensive player in JT Realmuto.
And defensive player, by the way, stats-wise.
At first base, we hope that Bryce Harper bounces back. At second base, I believe Bryson Stott is a full-time platoon player with an Edmundo Sosa. That doesn't make me feel great. That's my plan. I don't know if they go through with it. At third base is a guy they've tried trading publicly for the last 2 years because they know that the power surge from their 6'5" right-handed third baseman is not coming. At shortstop, it's another year older of Trey Turner. You hope that he hits around 300 again. And then in the outfield, it's a bunch of unknowns. It's a bunch of it. Bullpen I love.
I think the bullpen is improved.
But
because you got a closer for the whole year.
But am I hanging my hat on the bullpen?
Well, no, I love a good bull. Like to me,
no, I know, but it's opening day. Close your eyes. It's opening day. I don't know if it's March or April this year. It's opening day.
It's March.
Are you saying, all right, good bullpen?
Well, no, the bullpen. The only problem is the bullpen took a step forward while your starting rotation has taken a step back.
Yeah.
That's what I don't
I would like somebody to answer that question. If you are somebody that's not doom and gloom and you're upset by us, of course Andrew and John are being negative, tell us what it is that you're going to hang your hat on where you're saying, I know this is going to be the reason why they're going to get to the playoffs and maybe they'll beat the Dodgers this time.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about regular season wins. I want to hear about why are they going to win in the playoffs? Why are you convinced this team's better suited to win in the playoffs?
Regular season wins in 2021, sign me up. It's 2026 after step back, step back, step back.
And the roster is definitely not as good as the roster that was walking off the field in Los Angeles.
Yeah, so tell me what you feel good about. All right, go ahead. Hit what theme do we got?
This is All My Children. This is the newer All My Children.
This is All My Eagles today.
Which, by the way, was Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania.
Oh, is that right?
Pine Valley was based on Bryn Mawr.
In case you're wondering why we're playing the theme song to All My Children, or in this case, All My Eagles, is because the Eagles have become a soap opera recently. What took place this weekend, and we're going to have a bigger conversation on this yesterday, it made me upset with the Eagles organization or somebody in the Eagles organization because there has been way too much chatter. Their expectations were very high, and they fell very short of those expectations. So for the people like Zach Berman and Andrew DeCecco that tried telling us, hey, put it in perspective, they won the Super Bowl last year. They won 11 games. They won the division. First time in 20-plus years, back-to-back division winners in the NFC East. Imagine being another fan base that would die for that kind of stuff.
I don't want to hear it.
I don't do that.
I don't do it either.
I followed this season.
Correct.
I was not going to all of a sudden do the
It's not the History Channel.
No, this season
Correct.
was a roller coaster ride, and it led to a way too early exit, and a lot of our expectations did not even come close to being reached. NFC Championship game, Super Bowl appearance, Super Bowl victory for some people. And now all of a sudden there's way too much whispering because people are trying to point fingers as to what went wrong. So there was the report from Mike Silver about how people don't want to be critical to Jalen Hurts inside NovaCare. I don't know. I can't speak about inside NovaCare. What I can speak to is, yes, in this city, there are a lot of Eagles fans that are afraid to be critical of Jalen Hurts, and I don't know why. It's the weirdest thing to me. You've said it numerous times. The quarterback position in Philadelphia has always probably been the most criticized position in all of sports.
I'd say it's the absolute most. It's the hardest job in this state.
Yeah.
In this state is Eagles quarterback.
And for whatever reason, there are a lot of Eagles fans that talk about Jalen Hurts with kids' gloves on, and I don't get it.
Jalen just gets, and then look, and I'm a big-time Jalen defender, and I think Jalen gets just, literally, people just fall all over themselves to just not be critical of Jalen.
But now apparently that's happening in NovaCare. I don't know, but somebody's talking, right? Somebody's talking. I don't think Mike Silver just made that up. I think somebody talked to him. We know one of the
people that's talking because he never shuts up.
And that leads to another report over the weekend from Joe Santoliquito of Bleeding Green Nation that A.J. Brown had started asking for trades in Week 3, after the Week 3 game against the Los Angeles Rams, where they did win, but it was the come-from-behind effort. It was the we got to stop playing not to lose, which is what Jalen Hurts said. And then what happened Week 4, by the way?
They won at Tampa.
The Eagles won in Tampa, and A.J. went to social media. So he was clearly already frustrated. I don't think that Tampa game was I'm frustrated. It was a build-up to that game. They won the football game by the skin of their teeth. And then all of a sudden he goes to social media. So the timeline kind of checks. It tracks.
No, it does. And one thing I will tell you is, obviously, I graduated high school with Joe. I've known Joe Santoliquito since I was a teenager. Joe is a man of integrity. He's been proven right over and over again. So I believe his reporting is thorough, if nothing else.
Yeah.
So I believe the story completely.
So why all of a sudden? Did somebody get fired and he started texting people? I mean, Richard Sherman literally exposed Kevin Patullo on the Nick Foles podcast saying how he was texting Ryan Fitzpatrick, complaining about how everybody was being hard on Kevin Patullo when they don't know the half of it. Is it him? Is it A.J. Brown, to your point, because he never seemed to shut up this year?
Well, we know for a fact that Kevin Patullo was talking, and we know for a fact that A.J. Brown was talking. And I think those are the two people in the building that were talking. And does it surprise you at all that those two people are pointing fingers at Jalen Hurts, who, by the way, in just a poll from even Silver's own organization, The Athletic, did a poll of over 1,000 NFL executives, players, and otherwise.
Wow.
And Jalen Hurts was ranked 12th as far as leaders in the NFL just a year ago. So I don't buy what two malcontents are selling. An absolutely over his skis offensive coordinator and a wide receiver diva who can't stay off social media and doesn't just have the guts to speak up.
How about this blurb from the Mike Silver story? For all that the quarterback has accomplished, including 2 standout performances on the sport's biggest stage, he has been the source of much internal frustration, including from teammates other than A.J. Brown. Who?
Boy, isn't that crazy? Hey, Mike, don't give up your sources like that.
All the drama, man. All the drama
shaker.
with this Eagles team. We have a big topic on this tomorrow I can't wait to get into about the importance of this offseason from a non-roster standpoint. But coming up next, I have a journalistic question for Professor Kincade. And we have a pair of Sixers tickets to give away for Thursday's game against the Rockets. We'll tell you how you can win them next. It's Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Speaking of the Sixers, and speaking of that game, how about it? If you don't win the tickets for the Sixers-Rockets game that we're giving away in the 9 o'clock hour today, you could come hang out with me and watch the game. All right, this Thursday, January 22nd, I'll be at Casey's in Drexel Hill from 6 to 8. Sixers pregame party that you don't want to miss.
Great spot.
Hanging out with my friends at Corona. Just hung out with my friends at Corona last Friday at Nick's on 2nd Street. It was a blast. Can't wait to do it again. I'll be getting you ready for tip-off. They got great drink specials. Family buckets. All right, for those of you who have kids that are over the age of 21, enjoy $17.50 Corona family buckets, the perfect way to kick off your Sixers night. And, of course, you can win a pair of tickets to an upcoming home game for the Sixers. Grab your friends, stop by Casey's at Drexel Hill, and hang with us from 6 to 8 this Thursday night. It's the Fanatics Sixers pregame party hosted by me, Andrew Salciunas, in partnership with my friends at Corona. You got to be 21 plus. Please drink responsibly. For more details, visit 975thefanatic.com. We'll see you there.
The Fanatic's Andrew DiCecco.
with these guys. Make sure you tune in Middays with Marks. You guessed it, with me, John Marks. That's coming up at 10 o'clock. Let's get back to more of Kincade Salciunas right here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
All right, we're going to tell you how you can win Sixers tickets playing a game throughout the 9 o'clock hour. Sixers-Rockets this Thursday night, which is a great game to watch. We'll tell you how you can win them coming up in a little bit. But Chuck responded on our YouTube chat. So if you didn't hear it last segment, we had an interview with Bob Nightingale where we knew what was eventually going to be said, that people in the national media, people in baseball, still view the Phillies as a true contender in Major League Baseball. I think that they will win around 90 games.
Which you should when you spend that kind of money.
Right. And then I know what has happened the last 3 years with this baseball team. And, oh, by the way, it's going to be the same baseball team, right? Like, it's very similar. What's the difference from an everyday lineup standpoint? Forget bullpen, because the bullpen's good. I like the bullpen. From an everyday lineup standpoint, what's the difference? Prospect and right fielder, right?
Yeah.
That's it. Prospect and right fielder.
And prospect cannot be counted on as being projected to be good or bad. It's just a neutral line.
See what happens.
It's a neutral line. You can't say, I can't say great, I can't say bad. It's a neutral line till proven at the major league level, especially for a guy that the organization didn't even give a shot at.
No, last year they refused to call him up because Max Kepler.
They had an awful outfield.
He'd been swinging a good stick at that point because he was juicing.
Yeah, you just said, hey,
let's just do some PEDs.
Don't call Crawford.
So Chuck followed up, and he gave 3 reasons why he feels good going into this season. Again, hey, you're entitled to your feelings and your opinion, right? I will respond, though. Number 1, Justin Crawford will make this lineup better. So my response is he could.
Yes, he could.
But also, I'm not going to excite myself over a 9-hole hitter because that's probably where he's going to bat opening day.
They've already said that's where he's batting.
So I'm sorry that a
9-hole hitter is going to change the lineup?
Like, we went from getting excited about Bichette, who could be batting 2 or 3 for you, to let's pivot our excitement to our 9-hole hitter.
9-hole hitters do not change lineups. Stop it.
Number 2,
stop.
Garcia will be better than Castellanos. I
think I agree with that one.
And especially defensively.
Yes,
but
absolutely.
I don't think that it's going to be. I think defensively it's going to be slightly more than average. Like, it's going to be a difference we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
And I think offensively, I don't think it's going to be as significant as everybody expects.
His strikeout numbers
but I do think are
actually worse than Castellanos.
His strikeout numbers are horrendous.
Yeah, his power numbers can be projectable to be significant.
Especially in this ballpark.
But the thing is, there's going to be give and take, but I don't think in the whole thing. Offensively, I don't think it's going to be that big a difference. Defensively, I think it's going to be more than just slightly significant.
So here's what I'll say back to Chuck. I agree with you that he could be better than Castellanos.
No, I think he's going to be.
Am I going to – I hinged my excitement and confidence on Bo Bichette not happening. On January 19th, I refused to hinge my confidence on the Phillies on Adolis Garcia.
On a 1-year, $10 million player?
Like, I can't be like, oh, middle of the order is solved. I can't say that.
No, it's not.
And then lastly, he says the starting pitching will be fine.
Okay.
He believes one more starter will be added. Who?
I don't think that's going to happen.
Who?
They're 40 man's full. They'd have to move somebody off if they were going to sign. Like, I don't think that's happening.
Right.
Well, then, so that's where you can't.
But I do think the starting pitching is going to be fine.
But the starting pitching's not as good.
Here's the problem. It will be fine. I'll tell you right now, it will be fine. But it carried them last year.
Right, because you didn't have a bullpen, and now you have a bullpen. So you balance that out a little bit more.
Ranger Suarez, if ever you've got to just be even with last year, you're going to need 2 months of a pitcher that nobody believes in coming in and giving you Zach Wheeler's production. And then you need a rookie coming in and giving you what you got out of Ranger Suarez. Just to get back to where you were.
Just to get back where you were from the starting perspective, but the balance between the starting and the bullpen could even out to what you did last year.
Well, I love the bullpen. I'm very excited. I think they have one of the best bullpens if they can get to the 7th inning. I'm loving it.
Remember, you had Jose Ruiz, Jordan Romano, and Joe Ross in the opening day bullpen last year.
I'm thrilled.
Carlos Hernandez, remember him?
That's true.
Oh,
yes.
You put a little stank on that.
By the way, as predicted, I looked up I Googled MLB power rankings.
Fifth. I would guess.
And I don't feel that. All right, just real quick, I have a question for you because you're Professor Kincade.
Yes, sir.
And you've sniffed out the Bichette thing.
By the way, my students do not call me Professor.
All right,
John.
You sniffed out the Bichette.
Yes,
it's coming.
The BS.
It's coming from Dombrowski.
Well, of course it was.
So my question.
The call was coming from inside the house.
This is probably even better for an off-air conversation. But how do you believe people anymore?
I can't believe the mouthpieces. I can't.
Because let's face it, he has that power. If Howie Roseman wanted to text a local reporter something, probably going to put it out there. You might vet it a little bit. You're probably going to put it out there.
Yeah,
because it's the GM.
But what was reported that was incorrect?
That they were the clear favorite.
They were the clear favorite front runner, and that was not true.
Dude, as of Friday morning, we played Rosenthal. We read Nightingale. Nightingale even said himself that because the Mets and Yankees were both in on Bellinger, which meant Phillies. It's just Phillies and Bichette.
And none of those insiders even knew that the Mets had already talked with him.
That was Friday morning, and then at noon, or right around noon, is when it went down.
They had already the Mets had already talked with him days before. Had already talked with him, and none of them had that report. So the insiders didn't even know that Bichette's camp had already talked to the Mets, and that there was this little, hey, we'll be getting back to you. There was a fallback plan. The Phillies were just very public. Hey, everybody, we're talking to Bo Bichette. Hey, everybody, do you know we're in on Bichette? While the Mets were like, shh.
Yeah.
We're doing our stuff in private.
Clear favorite was a word that was being used.
Oh, over and over again.
I believe at that time they were, and stuff changed quickly.
Until they wouldn't do opt-out years. And they wouldn't do it where other organizations would, and then it was over.
Yeah.
It was over.
The opt-out's part of it. He's going to be $96 million when you count his luxury tax threshold just for this year. That's a hell of an investment.
By the way, speaking of investment, are we sure Nick Castellanos is going?
Yes.
A little blurb from an article I just saw that I will give you coming up next. Eagles topic. What are the top 3 things that can happen this offseason where the Eagles get right back to being one of the top teams in the NFC? We will each give our 3 next. Also, how you can win the Sixers tickets, I promise. Right at the start of the 9 o'clock hour, I'll tell you how you can win them. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
4 teams left in the NFL. I'm Connor Thomas, and NFL championship games are set after the divisional round got wrapped up yesterday. In the NFC, it'll be a West showdown as the Rams travel to Seattle. And in the AFC, the Broncos are hosting the Patriots, but they're doing so without their starting quarterback, Bo Nix, a broken ankle in the divisional round win over the Bills. He's done for the year. Meanwhile, the Eagles, well, they're just continuing their search for their next offensive coordinator. We'll keep you updated on any news that breaks on that front as they're in the interviewing process. Phillies had a wild couple of days with the Bo Bichette news on Friday. If you missed it, Bichette signing with the Mets. The Phillies then pivoting to JT Realmuto, a 3-year, $45 million deal to bring back their starting catcher. Jason Stark joined Unfiltered on Friday, talked about the offseason so far.
I don't think there's a big splash coming. I think the word for this winter that I would use is disappointing, but they're in a funny spot where they're way over budget, and they think they're better than Philadelphia thinks they are.
A lot to hear on The Fanatic today. Sixers host the Pacers tonight at 7 p.m. That game live here. Miami faces Indiana in the College National Championship game. You'll hear that after the Sixers game wraps up. And the Flyers play the Golden Knights in Vegas. An 8 p.m. puck drop. You can hear that over on WMMR. This update is brought to you by Orderly Meds. Affordable GLP-1s. New year, new you. Get results with Orderly Meds and GLP-1 tirzepatide. Starting as low as $149 a month. Visit loseweightnow.co. Eligibility required. Visit loseweightnow.co. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the Best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic.
earlier today on Kincade and Salciunas.
Do you believe the Eagles can quickly get back? They can get back next year.
They absolutely can.
I hope we're all on the same page here. Like that, they didn't die last Sunday.
Like you're talking about, can the Eagles get back to us next year on this date talking about them going to the NFC title game?
Absolutely.
They absolutely can go back. There's no hesitation in my mind looking at the landscape of the NFC.
Yeah.
That they can go back. But this is going to be a critical offseason.
Absolutely.
And I got to watch them navigate this offseason.
Yeah.
To totally buy in, but no, they absolutely can.
The Phillies did not sign Bo Bichette. The Phillies then signed JT Realmuto as a fallback plan to a 3-year freaking contract worth $45 million for a 35-year-old catcher. What the hell happened on Friday?
They blinked. It's exactly what I told
God.
you. It's exactly what I've told you about the president, the Pobo. He blinks. You want him at your poker game.
Yeah.
Because he panicked and he blinked. And again, there was nobody offering a contract to JT Realmuto.
Nobody.
The Phillies bid against themselves for JT Realmuto.
Now back to the show.
All right, we'll check our text line on our topics today. Shout out Yo Dude on our YouTube chat, listening to the ESPN shift Friday night. So thank you to Yo Dude. I appreciate everybody that's been a part of our show today on the YouTube comment. Even Chuck, who we are disagreeing with, and he's calling me Negative Nelly, even more so than you. But I just don't know what
I think I've been worse recently. You've been worse long term.
Yeah, because going back to the Phillies-Dodgers Game 1 playoff when Connor and I had the watch party at Patty Wax, and the second Strom gave up the home run, you had a freaking meltdown, and I just stood there because I expected it. And that's kind of where I'm at. That like I was angry about Bichette, but like I'm not shocked that I came in here Monday morning upset about the Phillies offseason plan because I've been upset with it for 2.5 years now. I've been upset with Dave Dombrowski for 2.5 years now. He's living off his resume. He's collecting checks. Good for him. Must be nice.
I am not look, and we appreciate the give and take.
Yeah.
And look, we all want the same thing. I would love for Chuck to be able to spike the football on us.
It'd be great.
And just mock us.
Yeah.
And say, hey, guys, remember how negative you were on that? Look at this great outfield they put together.
Yeah,
Look at this great pitching staff they put together. I would love it. There's nothing – being wrong would be awesome.
Absolutely.
And that's what – like when people were getting on you because you and Connor both thought the Eagles couldn't go to the Super Bowl. And I had to assure people, they want to be wrong.
Yeah.
They would love to be wrong.
I set myself up to have the biggest egg on my face, and unfortunately, there was no egg.
No, there was no egg.
None whatsoever. All right, real quick, and then we'll talk more about the topics you just heard being reset there. I saw a nugget about Nick Castellanos. Oh, boy.
Uh-huh.
If you want to go to the Sixers game this Thursday against the Rockets, I have a little side game that people can do. Either on YouTube, I'll try to track the YouTube as much as I can. Connor, you'll check the text line. And if you want to call in and give an answer and talk about our topics, you can as well. 610-632-0975. The Sixers are playing the Rockets Thursday night. That's the tickets that we're giving away for this upcoming game. A pair of tickets, Sixers-Rockets, Thursday, January 22nd at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. Get single game tickets at Sixers.com. Kevin Durant will be in town. And Kevin Durant is still, to me, a box office. He's in town. I want to go see him play.
At this point of his career, really?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, have you been?
No, I got you. But
he may be the greatest pure scorer in the history of the game.
There is no question. I've just seen him a lot. I think I've seen him in person like 5-6 times.
Yeah, he's averaging 26 a game this year. Mm-hmm. He's leading the Rockets. He was supposed to be like a part of that team. He's like their guy.
Yeah, I've never seen him play. There's a lot of people who haven't.
Wait, you haven't?
No.
Sir, I didn't know that. I guess I just always assumed.
Never seen LeBron, never seen Wemby. There's a lot of folks that go to a lot of games that just don't match up.
So I have you mentioned LeBron. He's off the table. Who are the people that you want to try to get potentially one last glimpse at? So not Wemby, because Wemby's only in year 3 of his NBA career. Any sport, a player that is almost on their way out, much like I did with Miguel Cabrera a couple of years ago, even though it was depressing, because I watched him hit a ground ball to shortstop, and I don't think he left the batter's box because he couldn't run anymore. Who are the players still playing professionally that may be?
Are you saying
like
30 plus?
Yeah, I would say 35 plus, or a respective sport because football's different. Players that are almost done, where you go, if they're in town, I need to go see them because I want to try to see them before they retire. My dad took me to a Michael Jordan Wizards game so that I could say that I saw Michael Jordan in person.
I wouldn't mind seeing Mike Trout again.
Okay.
Like, I wouldn't mind seeing Mike Trout one more time. I've seen him twice. Gosh, it's hard because there's not that many that I'm that anxious to go, yeah, I really need to see them.
And I take LeBron off because I think
LeBron I've seen.
But it's not even whether you saw it or not. I think that's an easy answer. Like, LeBron's like the easiest answer to say, I would like to try to see him one more time. Like, I remember when Brady was here with the Bucks. A lot of people got tickets.
Yes.
Not just because they wanted to cheer on the Eagles. They wanted to see what they thought would be Brady one last time in Philadelphia.
Absolutely.
So who are the box office? They're almost done. I got to go see them so that I can say that I saw them play. Best answer, we'll get the Sixers Rockets tickets. That's a great one. That is a great answer.
I guess we shouldn't be stealing answers.
Well, then leave it at
I'll
that.
just shut
so
up.
then Ovechkin's off the table. LeBron's off the table.
I'm sorry.
Ovechkin is off the table. Yeah. A player that is almost done that you're going to buy tickets to see, mainly out of a respect factor. Like, I just want to be able to say that I saw this person either one last time or, to Connor's point, one time because you've never seen them before. 610-632-0975.
No.
Okay. I've seen Ovechkin.
Okay, you need to see Ovechkin.
Yeah, I'm working for a lot of these games. I don't get down there as much as I
All right, so chime in. I see a couple on YouTube already. We'll get to those in a little bit. All right, let's do this Eagles thing. Top 3 things that the Eagles can do this offseason to get right back to being true contenders. Because I don't think it's going to take much.
I don't either.
Like, they don't have to do an overhaul.
No.
Right? I saw somebody say on one of these networks, Tom Alvord sent it to me. Somebody was like, yeah, they need to tear it down real quick. Like,
tweak.
And I'm like, no, there's no tear down. They just, number one, we all agree, hire a competent offensive coordinator.
I believe, I'm going to be bold and beautiful. I believe that they could potentially hire the right offensive coordinator, and that could potentially be enough to get them playing in next year's Final Four.
Yeah, that
might be enough. That might be, because they're going to sign some people, and some people are going to walk. I think that could potentially be enough. That might be enough.
Well, there are going to be people walk, right? If A.J. Brown's gone.
No, I think A.J. Brown is gone.
Okay, so
but
then
I think that
you have to figure out a way.
Gone.
I believe Devontae Smith can be the number 1 wide receiver of this football
team. That is where you and I.
Sure. So then if A.J. Brown's leaving, then you have to figure out a plan.
Oh, they're gonna draft a wide receiver. You have to draft a wide receiver. Or you got to bring in a veteran.
What round pick?
Or you got to bring in a veteran. Or you got to bring in a veteran who is out there who, with a win now team, a short-term older veteran. And by the way, there are some potentially out there.
Okay.
So that could potentially be one that you're looking at.
I agree that they're going to draft a wide receiver, but with what pick? The pick that you're drafting Lane Johnson's replacement with?
No.
The pick that you're drafting Dallas Goedert's replacement with?
Well,
the pick that you're drafting another cornerback with?
You can draft a tight end in the 2nd or 3rd round. And by the way, the picks that they have.
Well, I know, but if you're going offensive tackle round 1, if you're going tight end in 2nd or 3rd round, so where's the wide receiver coming in?
You absolutely have 23, 54, 68. 23, 54. If you went left tackle, wide receiver, you're fine.
Okay.
And if you tell me left tackle, wide receiver, tight end, 23, 54, 68, you're fine. And you've got 98, 122, 138. You can maneuver with other picks to make those first 3 picks more palatable if you need to. So I have no worries that they could address tight end and everything like that, but they may have to address with another safety.
Well,
even though I think they're going to go veteran with that.
Sure, I think so too.
And by the way,
because you're not going to have Makuba and another rookie back there,
they're going to go veteran corner. There's going to be a veteran corner brought in here. Some veteran will be brought in.
Is it going to be Jacorian Bennett?
No.
Michael Carter the second?
No.
Well,
no.
Who else is out there?
There's going to be.
Do they still have the rights to Jair Alexander?
No, there's going to be a veteran.
Technically, maybe.
Who else? No, he signed a 1-year deal with Baltimore.
Oh boy.
Who else do we have that could play corner for this? Or they bring back a Dory Jackson. They could potentially.
Oh no, Dory Jackson could come back, and I honestly am not going to come on here and go, damn, I can't believe they did that. I'm not.
No, you're just wondering what's the future at that position.
No, but if you're telling me that they brought him back at a reasonable number, which allowed them to then bring back somebody else, then I'm fine with it.
So OC1, A.J. Brown, somewhat of a replacement, 2.
Okay.
And then what's the third? Safety? Addressing the safety position? Because you feel good about up front for the most part.
No, I do feel good about up front.
Linebacker you feel good about.
Linebacker feel great about, even though I do think you're going to see Nakobe Dean.
Yeah, I agree. But Jahad Campbell now has a full year of experience in the system. And then it's safety. Safety's actually a glaring weakness because I don't know if Makuba's good. I don't know. I saw Drew Makuba look pretty bad. Then I saw him get more comfortable and look better, and then I saw him get hurt. But what was more real? Was it the look not so great first half or looked better in the second half of his games before the injury? I don't know who Drew Makuba is.
Yeah, I don't know who he is. And that's one of the things, like when Thursday we'll talk to Andrew DeCecco when he's in with us. That's one of the things you start to talk about some of these guys as to how much of a jump can they make.
Right, and can he be like the lead safety? Remember, I don't like Reed Blankenship without Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. The 2 years that Reed Blankenship looked good was when he had Chauncey Gardner-Johnson next to him. The 2 years Reed Blankenship did not look so good were the 2 years Chauncey Gardner-Johnson wasn't here. Can Drew Makuba be the guy back there in just year 2 when he didn't play a complete year 1? He started the season hurt, and he ended the season hurt. And, oh, by the way, injuries have followed him since college. I don't know if I can rely on that.
And by the way, I don't know if you heard any of the Chauncey Gardner-Johnson not expected to be brought back by the Bears.
So it'll be another team.
He made a big play to break up a touchdown in the Rams on the second to the last play, but he's not expected to be brought back by the Bears. They're like, yeah, we might bring him back, but
he'll be on another team.
He's going to be Chauncey Josh Johnson by the time his career is
Hell
over.
yeah, man. But you know what? But better.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
How can you seriously? How can it be like this?
Quick little update for you guys. Per Jordan Schultz, Eagles are going to be interviewing former Bucks OC Josh Grizzard today for their offensive coordinator position. So
Grizzard?
another name in the mix. Grizzard?
I think it's Grizzard, but I don't even know anything about him.
I can't break down.
I don't know anything about him.
He was Tampa's pass game coordinator in 2024.
I don't know anything about him, so I can't speak to it. But I don't know.
He's wearing cool sunglasses in this picture.
Is he?
So, that's something.
So that's
there you go. That's all you need to know.
All right, the quick Castellanos nugget.
Yeah, what is this?
So ESPN did a 2025-26 free agency and trade grades, off-season analysis. This came out Friday afternoon after the Bichette news happened with the Mets, and they wrote something about the Phillies. Real Muto's return brings the Phillies back into the same territory in which they ended last season. They've shuffled the bullpen a little, but Philadelphia's offseason is mostly defined by retaining Real Muto and Kyle Schwarber. Other moves have been on the margins, even adding outfielder Adolis Garcia, who isn't even a sure bet to hold off Nick Castellanos for a starting job. It's the same team, an old team to begin with, and one that is now a year older. So, again, now what, Phillies? Spencer Doolittle, I think Spencer's his first name. That's what they wrote about it. So they didn't completely write off Castellanos.
Well, they can't. First of all, unless they can get something in return, you can't just write, they can't write a $20 million check or a $15 million check, $17 million, and get nothing for him.
They might.
They could release him.
If they hate him that much.
But then they can. But the thing is,
I don't know.
I'm going to tell you right now, I do not believe, and when we get people on about the Phillies, I do not. There may be people within the Phillies, Dave Dombrowski and the manager, and Bryce Harper may not like Nick Castellanos that much.
But other people
do.
But
I don't believe his teammates think the same way.
Yeah, but you gave a $10 million deal to the guy who's playing right field. They gave the position away, and Castellanos is not going to be your fourth outfielder. So he's gone. It's just pure logistics at this point.
Look, I agree with you, but why is there somebody writing that Garcia is not even a surefire thing to start in right field?
Because they can't get rid of a guy that they telegraph They telegraphed again another guy they wanted to get rid of. They do it all the freaking time. Howie Roseman, when he wants to get rid of somebody, oh no, good players. You don't want to get rid of good, talented players. He doesn't play his cards publicly. Dave Dombrowski, it's Facebook Marketplace. It's your parents on Facebook. They every thought in their head has to be a 2-sentence post. It has to be, hey, look what we're selling. Hey, anybody want to buy it? That's why they get nothing for these players. That's why for years they've been trying to get rid of Alec Boehm now for 2 years.
2 years. And they have to try to fix that.
They literally let it be known that we do not like players. They talk about them. His dismissal of how much disdain he has for Nick Castellanos has been public in end-of-season press conferences 3 years in a row. And then he wonders why no other team's going, hey, Dave, we're going to give you a good return.
It'll be interesting. Look, I don't think he's on the Phillies. But why?
I don't either.
All of a sudden, there's a shift in the narrative, which is weird.
I wouldn't expect that to catch any traction.
All right. What do we got on the text line? I'll give you a couple answers from our YouTube chat. If you want to try to win the Sixers tickets for this Thursday's game against the Rockets, Kevin Durant will be in town. And our question for you, who are the players that are nearing the end of their careers that you would say, all right, I want to buy a ticket to see this person at least one last time or maybe the first time? The answers that we have off the table, obviously Durant because they're playing him Thursday, LeBron because that's obvious, and Johnny gave you Ovechkin, which was a tremendous answer. So you stole an answer, Johnny. Way to go. What do we got on the text line?
Do you want the answers from the text line, or do you want something on our topics?
Give us something on our topics first, and then we'll get some of the answers.
All right, so we have a check-in here on the conversation with the Philadelphia Phillies, and Troy from Lancaster says, I'm not optimistic about anything with the Phillies. Our starting pitching is mid. We have declining Harper and Turner. Our outfield is trash. We have an old catcher who doesn't produce offensively. What positive takeaways can we even have from this team? Yeah, we might win 90 games, but definitely not a World Series.
If this was year 2 of this, I saw them collapse in an NLCS in 2023. I saw them lose to the Mets, a team that you should have beaten, in the first round of the playoffs in 2024. I just watched them lose to, the World Series champion Dodgers in 2025, and they hung their hat on, we had a good club. We won 96 games.
Marty Tate did the work for me. Marty Tate, we love you. One of our listeners. He has a day off today, and he's watching on YouTube, sitting on his couch.
Shout out to you, Marty.
Enjoying it. Marty, we appreciate you. Teams with the Phillies payroll over the last 5 years, that average payroll, okay? Mm-hmm. They have averaged better than 93 wins. So stop freaking celebrating 96 wins, 92 wins. That thing, when you spend that much money, that is how many wins you're supposed to have. It's not an accomplishment. You're buying your wins. It's, did you spend it right and build a team that can actually win in the postseason? Or do you buy players and you don't teach them how to play fundamental baseball? They don't know how to run the bases. They don't know how to play fundamental defense. They don't know how to absolutely throw and just throw to the right base with the ball when it comes from the outfield. No, the Phillies don't know how to do any of those things, and the manager never holds them accountable. Ever.
It's another year of it. YouTube, Yo Dude says Steph as one of his answers.
That's a really good answer.
Tremendous answer. And Jay King goes Crosby.
That's not a bad answer.
No, that's a really good answer. What do we have on the text line when it comes to our contest for the Sixers tickets?
All right, so we had a couple people say that as well, but we'll give it to the YouTube folks on that. This texter checks in and says Derrick Henry, one of the greatest long-term running backs in NFL history, probably only has 2 to 3 years left max.
Yeah, that's a good answer, especially because he still does it well. Like this year was a little shaky, but that's because of the inconsistencies with Lamar Jackson's injuries this year. Derrick Henry, that's a good answer. Plus, like his high school numbers and everything.
I don't put Derrick Henry with the other players like you mentioned.
No, I don't know if is Derrick.
He's not Steph. He's a
Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer.
But he's not all
Steph.
He's not Ovechkin. He's not those players.
Yeah.
Speaking of guys that changed the game, Paul from Ocean City says Tiger Woods.
Oh, I love Tiger.
I think that's a great pick.
Tiger.
It is. Let me ask you something. Does it count if it's not a major?
It will be a major. It'll be the Masters. It's pretty much the only thing he
To
plays
go
in
see
anymore.
Tiger play.
Okay. Is he playing? Do we know?
He has a forever exemption.
I know,
so
but
if he ever
So
plays,
he'll play again if he does.
okay.
Right.
I can tell you again, I've told you guys before, I think, but he's the reason that I fell in love with golf.
Mm-hmm.
He's the reason that I became obsessed with golf, is because of Tiger Woods. Because you guys can't even imagine.
Now, breaking sports news from 97.5
I
The
just
Fanatic
saw
and
it.
97.5thefanatic.com.
Suck, Connor.
All right, Andrew. And anyone who was mad about the tush-push hate over the years from up in Buffalo, the hypocrite is out of a job. Sean McDermott, fired by the Buffalo Bills.
I am shocked. I'm shocked. I didn't expect him to be fired.
I'm not.
Wow. They must know that there's a candidate that they can get. And Sean McDermott will have another job in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
He'll
Yeah,
have
he'll
one
be
of
a
these
head
jobs.
coach, yeah.
He's going to have one of these jobs in 2 minutes. Here's where the great news is for the Eagles. This means Sean McDermott's getting one of the open jobs. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
He's going to be a head coach. This means that one of the guys might be an offensive coordinator. Like that one of the offensive coordinator guys might be available now. One of the maybe McDaniels doesn't get a job.
Right.
Maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe one of these guys doesn't get a job and now pushes them to the Eagles.
By the way, Joe Brady's an interesting name, who is the offensive coordinator of the Bills. What happens to him now that Sean McDermott's fired? Do they keep him?
Well, it depends on if they let Josh Allen be Bryce Harper, he may get the job.
Yeah.
Because Josh
Allen loves Joe Brady. Yeah.
But I think Josh Allen needs to be coached harder.
Sure.
Somebody needs to say to Josh Allen, you need to protect the damn football.
I'm not
You're killing
surprised
this team.
because this was the year, as soon as Mahomes was out, where it's like, all right, this is the Bills' year.
Yeah,
And
if it's not happening now, it's not happening.
He's getting a job. He is getting a job so fast.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of where he'll go. Maybe he could be Arizona. He may get his pick of the litter.
Yeah, look, he's an accomplished head coach.
No, he's won too many games.
Yeah.
He's getting a job. One of these jobs will be his. If he wants it, he might want to sit out a year. You never know.
How about that? That's big news.
He screams Vegas to me. I don't know why.
And he could have the number one pick in the draft and pick his quarterback.
Yeah, he screams Vegas real loud.
You think so, eh?
Yeah.
Wow. And they would give him the time because of his pedigree.
Yep.
Mick C thinks Patullo could be the head coach of the Buffalo Bills.
Hire him. Go for it.
Hey, let's do it.
I love it. All right, coming up next, we're all rooting for the same team this weekend, right? Hear from an Eagle legend next. If you heard it during today's headlines. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
You know, Dan White and Associates have been around for around 40 years now. And to stay in business for 40 years, that means people trust you. And if you're specializing in retirement and financial planning, Dan White and Associates have to be also delivering results. Because, look, people are trusting you with money guidance. People are trusting you with their future guidance. And that's what Dan White and Associates does. They help you create income in retirement to support the lifestyle that you want to live. They want to help you find certainty in your financial future, because finances in retirement can be an overwhelming topic. That's why the experts at Dan White and Associates can help you make sense of your unique situation. Now, they host these educational seminars throughout Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Maryland. Why don't you make it your New Year's resolution to visit one of them? Get a nice dinner out, go attend, listen to how they can potentially help you, and then schedule your own complimentary no-risk consultation so you can discuss your own personal finances one-on-one. They're great folks. It's not an intimidating conversation when you have it personally. And I can promise you, with Dan White and Associates' sterling reputation, they will come up with a plan that is tailored to you, and you're going to feel good about where the future is. Whether you just need guardrails on your budget or whether you need to know if you're, is that retirement plan on track? Dan White and Associates will help you out. Visit danwhiteandassociates.com today.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Championship matchup set. I'm Connor Thomas, and the NFL championship games are set after the divisional round wrapped up yesterday. It'll be an NFC West showdown as the Rams travel to Seattle. In the AFC, the Broncos host the Patriots, but we'll have to do so without Bo Nix, who suffered a broken ankle in the team's divisional round win over the Bills. Speaking of the Bills, reports today, Sean McDermott out as Buffalo head coach. So a lot still going on in the coaching circuit, which is where the Eagles find themselves as they search for a new OC. We'll keep you updated on any news on that front. Phillies had a wild couple of days. Bo Bichette shockingly signing with the Mets. Phils then pivoted to re-signing JT Realmuto, a 3-year, $45 million deal that Jason Stark talked about on Friday with Unfiltered.
I thought other teams thought the Phillies had positioned themselves as the clear favorite to sign Bo. I think they were. I think they thought they were. Just a whole sequence of events. And it's all a big never mind now.
Yes, it is. And now the Phillies are essentially running it back. The Sixers will host the Pacers tonight at 7 p.m. You can hear that game live here on the Fanatic. Miami takes on Indiana in the national championship game at 7:30. You can hear that game live here once the Sixers wrap up. And the Flyers play the Golden Knights in Vegas, an 8 p.m. puck drop. You can hear that over on WMMR. This update is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know you could save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. So what are you waiting for? Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5 TheFanatic.com.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
The final hour of Kincade and Salciunas is presented to you by The Bagster. It's a dumpster in a bag. You can get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. You need details? Go to Bagster.com.
And it's an unfortunate football Monday here on The Fanatic, presented to us by our friends at the local Bryant Home Comfort Team. Visit nopaybryant.com to keep your HVAC in the starting lineup. All right, so there is a AFC Championship game this weekend. I got to imagine we're all rooting for the same team. If you were to have a rooting preference, I don't really root for other teams. I just want good games. Like, I just want to be able to sit back and be highly entertained. But, like, we all have human element feels, right? Like, I rooted for the Colts when Phillip Rivers played because I thought that would be a freaking cool story if Phillip Rivers could win, like, 2 games and get them into the playoffs, even if they lost round 1. Just the fact that this guy's coming out of retirement after 5 years and could win a couple of football games. But the AFC Championship game is between the Denver Broncos and the New England Patriots, Mile High Stadium. And Bo Nix, if you missed it, got hurt on the second to last play of the game in overtime. That sucks.
And he had to be playing. It's
Yeah.
not like they could have had him out of the game or whatever.
No, he had to be
He
playing.
had to be in that game.
Yeah, they were trying to get some more yards to either score the touchdown or get the surefire kick as much as you can in overtime in a playoff game, and they got just that, and they win 33-30. But then Sean Payne gets to the podium after the game. Instead of even waiting for a leak or anything, he just said, hey, just want to let you guys know, Bo fractured his foot on the second to last play, and he's done. He's getting surgery on Tuesday. And I can only imagine how it must have felt if you were a Broncos fan getting that
Heartbreaking.
information.
Heartbreaking.
You even said it. There were probably people leaving the stadium not listening
Well,
to.
you're so high on the. Well, you're in Denver, so you're
Yeah.
high anyway.
Yeah.
But you're so high on the. You're going to host the AFC title game, and you got this young team, and you got this quarterback with some swag,
Yeah.
and he is a charming young man. He's talent. Now he's got upside because when he starts correcting his mistakes,
Sure.
man, he's going to be just.
But you know how we are when after a game, people like to stick around in the tailgates for a
Oh
little
my
bit, have a
gosh,
couple more
yes.
drinks. Imagine people in that like they're hanging out for a little bit, celebrating, high five, and then somebody has to be the guy that got the alert and says, "Oh my God, guys!"
It was like when we were on the bus coming back from the Tampa game with Philly Sports Trips.
Dude, that was nothing.
And I got the text.
That was
I
AJ
saw-
Brown being dramatic.
Oh, I said,
that doesn't
oh
even
boy,
come
this
close.
is terrible for
Yeah.
them. I feel terrible for Denver fans on this one. Horrible.
So-
but mostly for Bo Nix.
So Connor had it in today's headlines. Nick Foles put out a tweet 6:30 yesterday. Note for the Broncos and their fans. I know it has been an emotional 24 hours. I feel for Bo and the team, and I'm sending prayers for a strong recovery. A positive note going into the game versus the Patriots is that they struggle against backup quarterbacks in championship-type games, which is an awesome freaking tweet by Nick Foles. Everybody's rooting for Jarrett Stidham and the Broncos, right? Forget the Patriots, because I know people hate the Patriots to begin with, especially in this town. You got
Everybody's rooting for the Broncos.
It's a much better story.
Yes.
Nobody's rooting for the Patriots.
I'm not, but here's the counterpoint.
You want the better Super Bowl.
There's a chance that we get Sam Darnold, Jarrett Stidham in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well,
and I will not want to watch that
NBC executives are sweating their
Oh, I'm sure they
behinds off this morning at the fact that they don't want Seattle in the Super Bowl.
No, they want
They want the Rams in the Super Bowl.
They
That's-
want Rams Patriots. You know why? MVP quarterback Matthew Stafford versus runner-up
Right.
Drake May.
And they want-
that's what they want.
They want the brand recognition of the Rams with everything they've got, the Patriots with just the brand recognition of the Patriots.
Yeah, so football perspective, I would root for Rams Patriots. But
Yeah.
the Philadelphian in me and my
Yeah, the
hatred for
storyline.
Boston, like no, it's not even a storyline. It's screw New England. I don't want them there. They've had enough.
Philly on our YouTube chat. Stafford is overrated. Who cares about him? He's going to the
Stafford
Hall.
is. Oh my
He's going to the
gosh.
Hall of Fame. First of all, second of all, would you rather watch Sam Darnold? I'd rather watch Matthew Stafford
Any day of the week.
Yeah, it's not even,
And twice on Sunday.
not even close.
Super Bowl Sunday.
Come on, man.
Oh, well, by the way, our picks for Bet Parks.
Oh yeah, Tell us
Bet
about it.
Parks, thank you very much, Bet Parks, for sponsoring our picks of the week. Andrew has made it very uncomfortable, and we've got 8 picks left on the season. But Andrew and Connor both went 2-2. I went 1-3. And so I'm at 47-33 in the season at 59%. First time I've fallen below 60%.
How about that?
Andrew is in second place at 42-38, 5 picks back. Connor is at 49%, 39-41 on the season. Just treading water there.
Just hanging around.
My magic number to eliminate Connor is 1. My magic number to eliminate Andrew is 4.
By the way, the Pope is from Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so if the Lord didn't help the Pope and the Chicago Bears with that touchdown pass by Caleb Williams on 4th down,
The magic number would be
I would have won.
Number would be magic number would be 5.
Right, because I had the Rams minus 3.5. But,
My magic number would still be 5.
But because the Pope has connections with the man upstairs, they had Caleb Williams' pass going to the end zone to Cole Kmet.
Wait a minute. If the Pope really had connections, they would have won the game.
All right.
The Lord can't help out that much.
Let's be nice to His Holiness, because now that the Bears are out, your focus should be on the Flyers because they've lost 6 straight. We could really use you.
Yeah, I need him to. I needed him to carry his weight.
Remember, the Pope's a Villanova guy, so he can't be trusted.
That's true.
Let's be honest.
I'll trust him if he can make the Flyers win.
Remember, you only have to trust the Pope when he speaks under canon law. You do not have to trust the Pope if he's not speaking under canon law. You don't have to trust him.
Yeah, but he wears the gear.
Who's that?
But
Isaiah
if he's wearing the Villanova stuff, then he can't be trusted.
I hear you.
Sorry.
All right, what do we got on the text line? Do we have any more answers on our contest? If you're just tuning in, Kevin Durant in town Thursday. We're giving away a pair of Sixers tickets for that game. Who is a player that is nearing the end of their career that you would love to try to see one more time or for the first time? Our answers so far, our leaders, are Steph. That's from Yo Dude on our YouTube chat. Crosby from Jay King on our YouTube chat. And then a texter, Paul from OC, had Tiger.
I think this might be the best one we get. And Matt from Drexel Hill is the only one I've seen send it in, saying it's probably Messi. And I'm not even a soccer fan.
Messi. All right.
See, Steph is a guy that's like, he's in the pantheon. Messi's the greatest soccer player of all time. And the dude's still playing in this country.
Yeah, he's still playing for Miami, right?
Yeah, but he's playing it would be like, okay, this would be like Shaquille O'Neal playing in the G League.
Yeah, but you could say that you saw him.
I understand. But Messi playing here is like
Yeah, but it's here.
Mike Trout going to play A-ball.
People do that.
People
go see that, though.
But I understand. But that's why I can't. It's a great name, but I can't count it.
To be able to say you saw Messi play, regardless of the league.
Yeah, I got you. No, I mean, it's great. I think we're going to see world-class soccer this summer here.
Yes, we will.
And it's going to be freaking amazing.
Yeah, but Messi's like Brady, LeBron level, GOAT, Tiger level, but actually still playing and still playing at a level.
Yeah. Can't see them play.
It's not like he's playing high school ball. I mean, it's not the Premier League.
All right, Messi's in the running.
Okay,
he's in the running. All right, what do we got on the text line? Non-game related.
All right, we got a bunch of people who are not exactly thrilled with the current standing of Philadelphia sports, and especially with the Phillies and the Eagles, who we've been talking about here. Do you want an Eagles one or you want a Phillies?
Give us an Eagles one.
All right, so we have a check-in here on the Philadelphia Eagles and what's going on with their offseason. This texter says that they're checking in with the 49ers conversation. Which we talked about. Can you be mad about the 49ers and still talk trash? You brought that up.
Yeah,
earlier.
I don't get that. I saw a lot of people on social media celebrate. I get wanting them to lose, but acting like my off season's better now. I don't get that.
Yeah, this texter's with you. He says, I'm absolutely with Andrew on this matter with the 49ers, and I'm an Eagles fan. But the Eagles lost. At least the 49ers went to the divisional round. I'm so sick and tired of this fan base.
Yeah, it's a loser mentality to be like, yeah, you lost. No, we were sitting at home watching.
Let's take sports out of it for a second. All right? Let's say you're dating someone, and then she leaves you for someone else.
Okay.
And then eventually they split up. Are you going up to the guy going, ha? Because the guy would be like, yeah, bro, she left your ass for me anyway, though. Like, I wouldn't feel good. I wouldn't, celebrate their breakup. I would still be upset that guy took the girl from me.
Well, it depends on what kind of a person she was. You two may have a beer together and commiserate.
That could be it, too.
Friends.
I think
I'm not commiserating with Niners fans. The Niners beat my ass.
Exactly. The Niners, we should be embarrassed. We should be flat out embarrassed. And anybody making fun of Niners fans, you should be embarrassed. Just shush.
I don't get it.
Go to the corner
something that
and
I don't
shush.
get.
We got our backsides kicked by an inferior team that had no weapons. And we got our backsides beat by them.
All right, coming up next, somebody responded to one of my tweets with just a quote from Bob Nightingale when he was on with us that I will read to you on the other side because I don't understand. I guess I understand it from a journalistic.
It's my most aggravating interview we've ever had since we've been together.
I'll read you the quote coming up next. Also, I know which athlete Connor Thomas wishes he could be. That and is turning $15 into over $5,000 still feeling light. A wild bet that I'll tell you about next here on Kincade Salciunas 97.5 The Fanatic. Our wonderful faces are on YouTube. We appreciate everybody that watched the show today. I know a lot of people were home as today is Martin Luther King Day, so I hope everybody enjoyed their day off. For those of you who did stay home, and I'm glad that a lot of people were able to stay home because of the weather this morning. Driving in this morning sucked, man.
It was a bad ride in this morning, so it was lucky if you didn't. One just note on this King holiday.
Yes.
If you ever visit Atlanta and you have a chance to, you have a day, the two things you want to do are go to the King Center and go to the College Football Hall of Fame. Those should be the two things you visit if you are a sightseer in Atlanta. And if you only had one to do, go to the King Center. It is one of the most amazing tribute places you've ever been. And it is but it's really a really cool, educational, but peaceful site. Mm-hmm. And it's a really interesting. Give yourself around 2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
It's excellent. And then the College Football Hall of Fame, like in the afternoon, is a more fun spot.
And then Magic City at night.
But if you had, to go to the shoe show, as they call it, to see shoe show, you do that and go get your wings.
I got to go to the Coca-Cola factory, too.
Nah, like that should be.
Have a Coke and a smile.
That should be definitely not in your top
I can go
two.
to Coca-Cola at Wawa.
There's a lot of stuff
No.
do.
You can go, because when you go to the World of Coke, you can go and have one of 74 Coca-Colas.
Oh, is that right?
So, like, you can go to a wall and you can see, what does Coke taste like in Egypt?
Oh,
what does Coke taste like in Israel? What does Coke taste like in... Because it tastes different in all those countries.
Yes, Mexico is a big difference.
And you will
right?
realize that it's horrible in almost all those other countries.
Except Mexico. Isn't Mexico supposed to be like the better
No,
than...
it's so sugary.
Yeah, but I heard it's better.
Yeah.
No.
It's like McDonald's Sprite.
No, it's so sugary.
Gotta have it.
It's so the Mexico one is one everyone talks about, and it's so sugary you couldn't believe it.
All right, couple of things here. Jay Waggy on Twitter.
Waggy?
I put out a tweet in response to the station posting Bob Nightingale on the outlook of 2026. And I said, I really respect Bob's work, but I predicted this answer before we had him on. People who cover baseball outside of Philadelphia see this team as a true World Series contender. They are 5th on ESPN's offseason power rankings. People ignore the way the last 3 seasons have ended. To which Jay Waggy responded with, from Bob, quote, their only disappointment has been the postseason.
That's all that matters.
That's a pretty big disappointment.
That's all that matters.
I don't know how anyone could say, they're a good team, but it's just the postseason. And, it's just the postseason.
It's all that matters.
I mean, that's what, when we talk about fair or unfair, legacies of players, of coaches, of GMs.
It's not regular season wins.
We talk about did they win it?
Right, but we're not talking about legacy. So when the Buffalo Bills are top 5 in the NFL in power rankings to start every season, we go, yeah, that makes sense. Bob Nightingale brought up that Bills comparison. But we know when the postseason rolls around, Josh Allen, it happens. So I don't think that.
And so are you happy about that?
No, it's not about being happy, right? The fan base can rightfully be upset with this team and should be. But the way that the national perspective is viewed is more, hey, they're going to get to the postseason. They're going to be in position, and that's how a lot of people evaluate baseball teams.
And as I appreciate our listener who showed me, when you spend what the Phillies spend, don't be excited about the amount of games that they win, because that is the average that teams win. And by the way, the Phillies have beaten that average once. Once. Like the Phillies have beaten that number just one time. They're even falling below what teams that spend that money get. They're not even reaching that. They're not doing some exceptional number of wins that says, wow, they're really maximizing their opportunity. And you're like me, Andrew. You're looking at this going, I don't know what people are watching. But you know what? We got 11 weeks.
Yeah.
Got 11 weeks for this to work out.
See.
Hopefully it does.
Connor, I bet you wish you were Carson Beck.
Why's that?
Obviously, they have the national championship game today, so you'd like to be the quarterback of the U.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think
the OnlyFans girlfriend from before? Well, no, she dumped him.
I think you would enjoy that lifestyle. He was asked last week how he has been attending his classes because of all this football. His response,
already, right?
quote, no class. I graduated 2 years ago. Would you be a college quarterback without having to go to classes?
He would.
That's a tough question. Let me think.
In Miami.
What am I going to do with all my free time? Does Miami have nightlife or something?
Yeah, I think you wish you were Carson Beck.
I'd be all right with that. I saw something where Carson Beck was in the same class coming out of high school as C.J. Stroud. who just played
Yes.
in the AFC division.
No, it's amazing. The guy's been around forever.
And
It's
by the
wild.
way, he made $4 million this year.
Yeah, like he's making money. Like Carson, there's
And-
people that would wish to be Carson Beck.
He made $4.
A lot of people.
Me too.
One sitting right here.
All right, lastly, Indiana, Miami tonight. $15 bet
Okay.
could win this person over $5,000, $5,500.
Okay.
$5,500.
What is this?
I feel like it's light. His bet
Okay.
before the season started, Indiana to win the national title was the final leg.
Okay.
Indiana to make the college football playoff.
Okay.
Indiana to win the Big Ten championship game.
I don't think either one of them was outrageous, though.
Indiana to have an undefeated regular season.
Oh, that was a little tight. Yeah,
So-
that's the one. That's the one that I think is.
Well, and national title.
Wow.
Let's be
well,
honest.
no,
National title.
national title was the one that I would think is completely outrageous.
To bet a team to have a perfect season, I get it. These parlays, crazy, right? But I figured that would be more. To bet it a
Well, no,
perfect season and the title?
Indiana was supposed to be really good.
I know, but
But the thing was, Ohio State was supposed to be really good, so I wouldn't have expected that you'd be. Wow,
I feel like that's
you know what, though?
light.
How much did he put on it?
$15.
Okay,
No, it's
so
a
put
great
15
payout.
bucks on
Yeah,
it.
it's
So he
two
just-
teams in their conference ranked higher than them
So
to
he's
start
an
the season.
Yeah,
so
that's
he's
what I'm saying.
So he's an Indiana fan that took a flyer on a really good team, and it's paid off. And by the way, do not cash out early.
Oh, no, they're winning.
Indiana's winning this
They're
game.
winning tonight. Yeah,
They
they're-
should. How
they're
about this?
winning.
They should win this game. And by the way, people are like, hey, Miami's playing at home. Miami has one of the worst home field advantages of any team in college football.
By the way, this Indiana
Of any
team,
big program.
This Indiana team, like people are traveling it.
It's unbelievable.
It's a historic story
It's amazing.
because that's a historically bad program.
And a
That's-
historically great business school. So you got people
yeah.
with tons of cash.
All right. So you were iffy on the Messi answer. Connor was all
but
for it.
Connor's all for it. I'm just like, I don't know, like seeing, hey, Kyle Schwarber's going to go play A-ball.
All right. So
That
Steph,
doesn't do it.
Crosby, Tiger, or Messi?
My vote's Messi. That dude might be the greatest international athlete of all time.
My answer, Steph, just
My
because of
vote's
the,
Steph.
the level of which he's
My
playing
vote would
at.
be Steph because he's still playing against the best competition and he's still playing at a very high level.
That's two. Sorry, man.
My vote be
Sorry to
That's fine.
Matt.
Sorry,
Drexel
Mess.
Hill. Maybe we can
Sorry.
hook you up with something else down the road.
Sorry, Mess.
So, yo, dude, on our YouTube chat, need you to call the phone number, 610-632-0975, and Sean Rodwin will take care of you. So, yo, dude, congratulations. You won the pair of tickets for the Sixers-Rockets game. Check out your tickets, Sixers.com. Sixers taking on the Rockets at the Xfinity Mobile Arena this Thursday.
There you go. Good for you. And the Rockets will be an entertaining game.
Yeah, to
be good.
Matt and anyone who didn't win, we have another pair to give away. So,
There you go.
What, tomorrow?
well, whenever you want to. There's two pairs.
Give away tomorrow.
Nice. All right, that sounds good. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your day. We have Middays with Marks coming your way next. I don't know. Is Sean Brace in the house? Not sure.
Yes, he is.
He is in the house. All right, so Sean Brace in the house today. Ray Dunn, of course, producing the show as always. Everybody have a great rest of your day. We'll be back at it tomorrow. For now, everybody have a great rest of the day. This has been Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.